getting dog on camera.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Howdy,
We're a
howdy.
little bit late, a little bit behind. I had some sizing issues trying to get them in both on the camera. My camera's way low from last week. Hang on, let me fix that. There we go. All right. And this week we are, as we said last week, that we really wanted to have Dan join us for this stream.
Hey, everybody.
Dan is a Citrus3000psi, for those that don't know. I'm sure everybody here already knows. And we're going to be playing, or I'm going to be playing some of his new 3DO RGB mod, which is the ultimate 3DO mod, probably at this point. I mean, I can't think of a way that it would be topped. I mean,
HDMI, I guess.
Said earlier, like an HDMI, but I don't know, who even knows if that's maybe when you have nothing else to do. that's what you can do.
Yeah. So has 3DO had, I mean, you know, I have to be honest, I don't keep a lot of 3DO information like ready to go off the top of my head. Has 3DO had, I'm a little unclear enough, 3DO has had an RGB mod at all up until now.
Well, so there's been...
Good.
No, there's been a couple mods out there, and they've had their issues. The way that the DAC interacts with the GPU is kind of weird compared to other consoles. So they've all had a shift problem, that the pixel data is too slow, so the image is shifted to the left. So you have to shift to the right. And all the other previous mods didn't really take care of that.
I see.
Dan, really quick, people are saying, can you turn your mic down just a touch? I don't know if that's possible or not.
Sounds fine to me, but I'm not. I'm not the stream. You can adjust people.
Yeah, I tried to, but it's not letting me do it for some reason. Or everybody else is low. I can't make try any louder without making Dan louder. I can make myself louder. I guess I am a little bit low. Maybe this will help. Maybe, I don't know. Let me just, I'll turn myself up a little bit like that. Maybe that's better. How's that sound?
Here, I just turned me down around, I don't know, 20%. Is that better?
I mean, it sounds good on Discord anyway.
Yeah. All right. Now, if I'm too loud, let me know. Everyone's saying it's perfect.
I was telling Dan, it looks like he's calling us in from the set of a sitcom.
He's ready for a fireside chat, it looks like.
Yep. got a little candle going in the background.
All right, so I turn myself down a little bit. It should be better. Everything's all out of sorts, and things are going to get even more out of sorts in coming weeks, I think. And then hopefully everything will be perfect.
In sorts. Forever.
Forever, yes. I mean, I mentioned it briefly last week, but I am going to be moving. Dan, I don't know if I told you that we ended up getting the house, but we're going to be moving.
Oh, you did?
Yep. So
you did like close and everything?
Well, we close at the end of the month. So I mean, I guess there's still a chance that things could go wrong, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play a bunch of 3DO games, and Dan also had an extra USB mod for the 3DO hanging around, and I bought that from him, and he put it in there. So we're gonna be playing. We can play basically any 3DO game that we want to, as long as it's US or Japanese exclusives.
How many are there?
Isn't there like 300 something in each region, in US and in Japan?
Wow,
that's probably pretty close. It's got quite a few games.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually seems to be a lot of Japan exclusive ones too, or they just changed the names or something. But there is a 3DO version of Night Trap. They had a Japanese 3DO version of Night Trap. I thought the Sega CD was the only one. But,
did you mean to switch to where we could see?
No, I'm switching now. There we go. I thought I'd start with Soccer Kid, because I think this is one of the I don't know. It's kind of a cool game on the system. So it's a good 2D game.
So, the RGB mod obviously has to have something to deal with like the 240p situation as well, right?
Right. So I think Panasonic's original intention was to have the 240p be an option for all games, but for some reason they pulled that plug. So part of the consoles have kind of mixed setups on how to do that, but they all can do it. But clearly the devs, when they made the games, a lot of them only wanted 480i. So you've got the speed up issues on some.
Right, or they only took it into account because like the system just outputs 480i by default.
Correct, yeah.
Even though the games are, as far as I know, like almost all designed as if it were 240p.
Yeah, the internal. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's interlacing 240p when it doesn't need to.
Exactly. And actually, the frame buffer inside the 3DO is 320 by 240, and it actually does a horizontal interpolation to be 640. And so I guess the devs could also choose for that horizontal interpolation to be duplicated or just averaged.
So, do you end up getting extra detail, or is it kind of just look like? Is it like weirdly interpolated if you were to look close?
I think they did the interpolation for a lot of the FMV stuff.
Okay.
To make it just look more like real video, but with less data. It's still underpowered.
Right. So, and I know that a lot of, or maybe not a lot, but I know certain 3DO games run at the wrong speed if you force 240p.
Yeah, however the GPU is handling that, it's obviously has a lot more resources because it's only doing a frame, 1 frame less or one field less.
Is there a way you can work around that with the mod?
I tried to underclock the system and it works, but not to where it's beneficial. So if you wanted to play a game that doesn't work correctly in 240p, you can switch back to 480i.
And it works on the fly too. You can just do it at any time.
How do you do that? Is this a physical switch?
Yeah, there's a physical switch on the back.
Okay.
It goes into the mod. Goes right where the RF goes. So, you have the RF, the 3-channel, 4-channel. That's where the switch is.
Okay, so it's the whole thing is no cut.
Correct. There are a couple random Japanese consoles that don't have the RF box. So those would have to be essentially cut.
So it can be installed in any 3DO?
Yes, except for the
like the last version,
ones
right?
Yeah, there's a few models where I think
like a Sanyo
the 3DO,
or something.
Yeah, the 3DO was obviously failing, so they're trying to save money. So they did, the whole consoleize all the chips in the board to try and save money. So they have one massive chip that is both GPUs, the DAC, the audio, everything in one.
Joe is wondering how this game can have smooth parallax scrolling but not Gex in Super Street Fighter 2.
Well, doesn't Gex run at 30 frames? I think that.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably all trickery.
I suck at this game.
I mean, wasn't
try it again.
Wasn't Commander Keen basically trickery to get smooth scrolling on a computer? They're probably doing some sort of trickery here.
Yeah, I mean it's. I can change the color of my clothes.
And who knows how? I don't really know how the Clio and the Medam GPUs. I don't know how they interact. If it's something like the Saturn, where you can offload certain procedures to one GPU versus the other, and clearly there was some Saturn devs that could figure it out, and there was clearly some that couldn't. So it could be related to that. But
yeah, we were joking before the stream about an HDMI mod. Like, which would be more difficult if you just like decide to do it, 3DO or Saturn?
Saturn.
Saturn would definitely be more difficult.
Well, the reason why the Saturn is so hard is, well, A, it would probably be really expensive, but I've talked to Woozle about this pretty in depth, and so the DAC is internalized on the VDP1, I think, or it's the VDP2, one of the two.
Right, it's part of the graphics generation process.
Right, but the other one sends the digital video over, but you would have to re-implement the entire VDP on an FPGA.
Right.
And it does quite a few things. It does sprite rotations and things like that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, and that after that point, you'd be starting to get pretty far removed from original hardware.
Well, I think you could replicate it probably pretty close. I would think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a big chip and does a lot of stuff, and it's gonna be a while before that happens.
Yeah.
Now there are some open source emulators out there that you could kind of use as reference, but it would still be difficult.
And Genesis is a relatively similar situation, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very similar.
How do I get out of here?
Yeah, so
I can just hear Corey clicking on that controller over there. So how are you liking that controller?
Oh, I'm not a big fan of the 3DO controller.
I have to be 100% honest. Like, I'm having a hard time at the moment, like, conjuring up the image of the controller in my head. It's not a system I spend a lot of time thinking about.
I always just think about how it has a second controller port on it.
Yeah.
At the top.
And there was a 3 or a 6 button controller for the system, but it's hard to find, I guess.
Is there any way like
get out of here?
to use like a Super Nintendo or Genesis controller or something like that?
No. If you use a Genesis controller, it's like mess up the system.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I am using a Genesis extension, which is possible to use because it's just passing through the wires directly.
Well, yeah, there's the 3-button controller. I mean, it doesn't look that bad.
It's got shoulder buttons, it's like a Genesis and Super Nintendo controller combination.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I don't know how the D-pad is, but
I mean, it's not great. Probably the most impressive thing about it is that it has a headphone jack on the controller, and you can listen to the game audio with it.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I've definitely used that feature with like the PlayStation 4, like for example, like if I brought like to my parents' house, like instead of using like TV speakers, just listen to the game through your controller. It was very convenient.
Jesus.
Where's that jack at? I don't think I've ever noticed that on my 3DO controller.
It's just right in the bottom, like on the bottom part. There's even a volume slider for it.
Mine doesn't have that.
Oh, really? I mean, it's possible that they all don't have it.
I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure I would notice a slider. But
oh, Troy, are you watching the chat at all?
I am watching a little.
Oh.
Apparently, there is a SNES controller adapter.
Oh, for this? For the 3DO?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. I'd be into that.
I look at the chat somewhat decently. It's a little hard for me to divide my attention, especially when we have guests on.
Mm-hmm.
When we have guests on, I tend to get much more distracted.
Well, it happens. I don't believe there's a Mr. 3DO core.
Yeah. I don't know if that's like pushing its limits or.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, there's a
probably not.
Game Boy Advance and Sega CD, or were just announced.
That's true. That's true.
Game Boy Advance, it seems like it's progressing pretty fast. I have no idea why this game is so difficult for me.
Are you like collecting like soccer player cards at the bottom or something like that?
Like, do you ever get your ball back?
Yeah, you get it, but I have no idea what makes you retrieve it. Maybe you get it out of the treasure chest you sometimes find. I'm just gonna run for it. I mean, you can tell this is a European game. Just by the look of it. I'm gonna play something else.
Oh, a soccer kid tried so hard. This time, sadly.
I mean, what is your favorite game on 3DO other than Road Rash? Because I know it's Road Rash.
So what was the, because I feel like you worked on a 3D, you were kind of working on a 3DO mod like years ago, and then you put it to the wayside. What made you come back to it?
So, well, because I promised I would go back to it. So I made something and it created some artifacts the way I did the shift, and I just stopped. And then I kind of said I would go back to it this year, and I finally went back to it, finished it.
Was it easier than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, once
you're able to like use a lot of the stuff that you've learned in the last few years probably on it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I said last week that you've had a pretty. Oh, there's not enough space.
Do you have a copy of Twisted for the 3DO? Joshua Humphrey
I can play it.
I think it's funny how many like little softcore Cinemax game videos there are for it. Like,
yeah, it seems like there's a lot more Japanese ones than there are American ones. Not that I haven't played them, but
and you know, the worst video game I think is for the 3DO. The Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Yeah,
I think it's considered the worst game ever.
I mean, I don't think it is a game. Is it?
I mean, you get to make choices. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah. This is a great game.
The only 3DO thing I own is Corey's 3DO box, which is it's a very nice box.
You look at this and it's amazing how far the Need for Speed series has come.
What every red-blooded, land-loving, land-speed record wannabe ever wanted.
A few years ago, it seemed like Need for Speed was like making a big comeback, and I don't know if.
Well, this released a new one.
It's still kind of at that peak or not.
The new one they released just has no microtransactions and everything like that. And
really?
So I guess it's considered to be pretty good. Look at this menu. I used to play this game at Zappers.
Nice to hear. I'm sure I've played a Need for Speed
a horrible
game
UI.
at some point, but
yeah, I know. It's like, what does everything do?
What do I click on?
I mean, I remember the big thing with this game, at least with my friends and I, was that you can drive a Dodge Viper in this game. That was a big deal. Oh, do I?
So, what year did the 3DO release?
Was it 93? Maybe
3? Yeah.
So I mean, this 3D was probably kind of mind blowing at that time.
Oh yeah,
I remember,
definitely.
I wanted a 3DO real bad growing up as a kid, and a Jaguar. I was the bids could really sell me. You just told me it was 64-bit or 32-bit. I was all over it. Which I think didn't they advertise the 3DO as 64-bit?
I think they
maybe
advertised the Jaguar is 64-bit. I think.
So my favorite thing.
The Jaguars though is two 32-bit processors, and they just kind of added them up.
Oh yeah, I mean they fudge a lot of stuff like that. I mean, I was just reading the other day about how Neo Geo was marketed as 24-bit. Which I don't
So the big thing...
I don't think actually was a thing. I think it was like one part was 64-bit and one part was 32-bit.
This was a big thing for my friends and I, because if you go the other way, you can get some pretty good crashes. This is what we used to always do, is just drive the other way and then wait for it to you to crash into somebody. Hopefully it's gonna happen. I mean, it's very funny when it does.
Did you play that? Was that on the 3DO or a different console? Or
Oh,
a
it was on
PC?
the 3DO, and then another friend got it on the Saturn. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Maybe everyone already passed you.
Maybe I'm playing the wrong mode. I couldn't tell what mode I was supposed to be playing.
I mean, this is honestly not bad 3D. I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah, I mean, for the time, this came out after Road Rash, I'm pretty sure. But it's kind of amazing looking at the stuff that came out. I mean, Electronic Arts was all in on this system. And even the version of Madden that's on here never got released anywhere else. And the thing I like about that is it's this mix between Genesis style gameplay and like later entry graphics, I guess is a good way to put it, maybe. But it just feels so quiet. There's no...
Oh, without the disk drive running?
Well, no, just the game itself, without any music or anything. Okay, now turn around. Okay, here we go.
Why does it have no music?
I don't know. Because they spent all the money that they had on the Road Rash soundtrack, probably. Which is, honestly, probably the best licensed soundtrack ever. See, I don't think that there's anybody else coming this way. Maybe I need to play a different mode.
Whoa, the way those buildings are scaling is kind of awesome. Like I think they're 2D elements. But it's like pretty good scaling.
I wonder if I can quit and go back to the... Oh, here we go. See if I can quit and play a different mode that maybe has more stuff in it. Oh, there's this guy.
It looks better than the buildings in Cruising USA, at least.
It forces you to... Oh, wait, I thought it was going to force me to put in a name. Alright. See, I don't even know what anything is. How are you supposed to know?
Well, you got settings probably bottom left.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. I don't know what the guy is with the glasses.
It's like story mode. It's like all skewed.
You take this baby out and run her up against the clock. Or for the initiated, I suggest a little challenge. A little one-on-one, a little...
This was the future, too.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Let's go.
This was the future.
This
I
might
feel
be-
like this
Oh,
series,
here we
though,
go.
would be
Now,
for-
now I can drive the Viper.
All-wheel
Can I...
drive helps with the...
There we go. I had a friend growing up whose dad owned a car dealership, and we thought it was just the coolest thing when he came home one day in a Dodge Viper. I mean, Dodge Viper was a big deal in the 90s.
I feel like this genre or this era of cars are probably like definitely my favorite. Maybe that's just because of nostalgia, but you know, I remember the McLaren F1 being on Need for Speed, and that was, I don't know, that was my dream car.
All right, so let's see here. I can skill level, audio, component, video, ABS. I hate that if you hit any direction you're not supposed to on the D-pad, it's like makes like a tire skidding noise.
I do kind of like the idea behind the 3DO though, that it's like a set of specifications that, you know, different manufacturers could make their own version of. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
So what's weird, and I wonder, is so the CDI is very closely related in terms of hardware. If you open the hardware up, they use the same DACs and things like that, and they have obviously the same premise on that, you know, sell the hardware designs and let manufacturers make their own. So I don't know if there was a reason for that, or...
Man, that is that texture on the back of your car is that's some pixels. That's some pixels.
So I was gonna say earlier, Dan, you've kind of had a big year. You've been coming out with a crazy amount of stuff. It seems like
it's been a pretty busy year, yeah.
You know, the Dreamcast HDMI, basically starting with the Dreamcast HDMI late last year.
Which made it works for so long.
Yeah, I think that released end of last year, like December maybe, or was it first of the year? I don't have to go back and look. I actually have been working on a Naomi. I have a Naomi 2 that I'm trying to get a DC
really?
HDMI to plug in. Yeah,
that's a cool thing because it's almost like the CPS2 mod.
Yeah, exactly. And so essentially the Naomi is a Dreamcast.
Hmm?
So it's should work eventually.
And you know, you just a couple weeks ago you revealed the true GameCube ODE.
Yep, the GC loader.
Yeah, the GC loader. Is that close, or is it going to be? Is it still a little bit? You want to do some more testing? With it?
No, it's. I'm sure there'll be some firmware changes that'll be made down the line. But I've ordered the first 500 units, so we'll get those out, and you know.
So the hardware is done for sure.
Correct. Yes. So the units, I'll probably get those in the next couple weeks. I'm sure people will find an issue with some games, and we'll have to, you know, do some firmware fixes and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is running, and like you're using Swiss to select all the images and stuff, right?
Yeah, but Swiss isn't required. So actually, Swiss so Swiss does a lot of patching for a lot of things, and actually breaks some of the games.
Oh, so you're trying to figure out a way to avoid having to do that?
Well, Swiss is important because it has a lot of features. You have, you know, you can force 480p. There's a slew of features that you can use. So it's people are going to want to use it. But we don't want to obviously hurt game compatibility either. So it's stuff that'll get worked out, but it's just, you know, we've tested like the top 400 games. And I think there's around 10 or so that have some issues.
Is there any soldering required for that mod, or is it just plug in the ribbon cable?
So the first 500 batches will have a flex cable that you'll put on. We are working on getting a connector made.
Okay.
So it'll be a true plug and play. So, you know, Nintendo, they had to use proprietary connectors for everything.
Where did the idea and the desire to do that specifically come from?
So Daniel started this. Daniel's from the Netherlands. He started that project around probably 3 years ago, and it was because the Wasp was kind of the main go-to, and those kind of like dried up, and you couldn't get those anywhere anymore.
The Wasp.
Or the Wii Key Fusion. The Wasp was the clone. So, and they had some issues. They didn't. I think it was 32 gigabytes. Maybe was the max. I don't 100% remember. It didn't have audio streaming, so like Wave Racer would be no background music.
So I mean, there's still a lot of issues with it then.
Yeah.
All right, I'll switch to something else.
And the PS1's still chugging along.
The PS1 HDMI mod?
Yep.
So you're planning to finish that before PS2?
Yes.
I've definitely got PS2 systems to spare from HD.
We got a $2 donation from the NES Master, specifically asking for Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
I don't think we can.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like no like straight up nudity on it.
There's no nudity on it.
I don't know. I don't know that much about it, but
I've actually played like the first 30 minutes of it.
I mean, the thing is, like, you can't even play it until it has like such a long intro. The NES Master, is it okay if I save it for later? There's an uncensored code.
Ooh.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it.
I don't know. Aaron Walsh says don't do it. I'm a little nervous.
Let's see here. I want to play something that is a little bit different. Maybe that we haven't played. Oh, someone was saying Twisted. There we go. We'll play Twisted the game show. Uncensored code takes away the black bars. I'll give it a shot another time. But there's no image underneath. Oh, is it just like a 2-part photograph, or they've like already cut it out? You know what I mean? Like they just like deleted it. What? Did it make any sense?
It doesn't really make any sense.
Well, they said that it's if there's no image underneath, like it's just like if you had an image and it was just like deleted, and they put the black bar over that deleted portion of the image. I guess it doesn't make much sense. Whatever. I feel like it's gonna be something.
I'm going to check if Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, like in its entirety, is on YouTube. And if so, then it's probably safe enough.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce my exciting assistant, the lovely Miss Anna Fu.
Well, there's an AVGN episode.
Yeah. Dan, did you basically test every single game?
On the 3DO?
Yeah.
No. Should I have?
No, I don't think so. You put it out there, and you know, if there's any issues, then you'll hear about it.
No, that was more about the GC loader, but yeah, I mean, really, like, so all the games are within the spec of the 3DO, so everything should be fine. I mean, I tested a bunch, but nothing that nothing that's too crazy.
I don't know, who should I be? It says, holy cow! If you're on this guy on the Fez, he's like, pick me, like saying it over and over and over again. I don't want to be him because he's too obnoxious. They're all obnoxious. I guess that's that's the point. God. Whew.
Now, Johnny Powell, how smart do you think you are?
Oh, how smart am I?
I'd say adult.
Yeah, we'll do adult.
Will the next player please select a contestant? Press C when all players have made their selections. Now, Major Steel, how smart do you think you are?
I should have. Whatever.
It does look like Plumbers Don't Wear Ties is just straight up on YouTube, so.
Major Steel, you're up first.
Here we go.
Think fast. You're on
Well, look at that smooth FMV.
Yeah.
Johnny Powell, take the controller and secretly select a row from the matrix. Now, Major Steel, take the controller and select a column from the matrix.
Too bad they don't have those making music videos like the Sega CD has. We get like Marky Mark in here.
Yeah, well, we definitely get flagged for that. We've gotten flagged for Power Rangers FMV.
Johnny Powell,
I also do find it strange that the 3DO doesn't have a reset button. It's only power off or power on.
Yeah, at least this mod, the USB mod, you can reboot to the menu by just opening and closing the lid.
Oh, can you? That makes sense.
Mitch B with
I've never tried that actually.
What?
Just opening and closing the lid. I've always just turned it off and turned it back on.
Mitch B in the chat has a
$4.99.
yeah, $4.99. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Once turned Twisted into a drinking game with friends. 2 people almost died. We still talk about years later among friends. Wow.
I mean, that's right. How do I switch to the next one? All right, maybe I mean, that's right. That's correct. Except for
No, the hats are wrong, right?
Oh, I don't know.
The person on the right was wrong.
Major Steel. Good luck.
Yeah, I see that now. I'm just playing both characters. The challenge square. I was expecting more trivia, so I could show everybody how much I don't know.
Now, Major Steel, take the controller and select a column from the matrix. Trivia.
Oh, here we go, trivia.
Before time runs out.
This is probably how you don't know Jack started.
What gas traps the Earth's heat and may cause greenhouse effect?
Well, we should know this one.
Yeah. I knew that one.
Well done. Keep going.
Think fast. You're on the challenge square.
Oh, it's the challenge square. Here we go.
Johnny Powell, take the controller and secretly select a row from the matrix. Now, Major Steel, take the controller. Trivia.
Okay.
All the questions correctly before time.
Here we go. Here's some more trivia. In Calvin and Hobbes, Calvin imagines himself to be which character? I don't know. I haven't really read it.
Oh, Spaceman Spiff.
All right.
Major Steel, you're still up.
Nice.
Major Steel.
Johnny Powell, take the controller. Now,
I like doing the
Steel,
trivia.
take trivia. Answer all the questions correctly before time runs out.
Sales supposed to play games in front of gamers. What Native American lived with the Pilgrims and taught them how to grow corn? I thought it was Squanto. I don't. That was,
Don't touch that dial.
I didn't know it.
Right back.
Sorry.
Their Messerschmitt, it slices and dices the car's firework. It even performs surgery in those cartridge organs.
Dan, is that you in the chat? As Black Dog
So
in the
that-
chat?
That's actually my wife, I think.
Okay, I was gonna say.
In the bedroom in the back. I think it is.
The wheel of torture.
I actually haven't said anything.
Get off the wheel, press the
Uh-oh.
A button on 3 of a kind.
I don't even. Uh-oh.
Yep, it's her.
Try Typhoon right now because it looks like the game froze up.
Korean 2D fighting game. Huh. That's weird. I wonder why I did that.
Well, it's still kind of working because it's got that blinking cursor.
Yeah. But something in the FMV didn't load.
Could have been a bad image or bad copy over or something.
Possibly.
If I have it in here, I'll play it.
It's also one of these things too. These consoles are now so old that it's just, I don't want to say they're unreliable, but you know, anything can happen.
I'll play Plumbers Don't Wear Tires after, unless I can't find Typhoon.
What was that? Chicky something at the beginning of the
I
list.
got another. NES Masters now put in $4 Canadian for Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. So
I think Primal Rage was a pretty good game on the 3DO.
I don't know. I didn't
As
mean
well.
to choose this.
What is it?
I don't know. We're gonna find out, and then I'll play Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. Oh, it's probably like.
Yeah, someone also says do Wing Commander. I think there's also a couple Star Wars games.
Oh, there's a Star Wars game?
I didn't know.
Oh, Rebel Assault, probably.
That game looks complicated.
You know, it's weird to me that, you know, there's like Japanese games on the 3DO. Like, it does not strike me as a system that would have gotten any traction in Japan at all.
Panasonic's Japanese though, right?
Yeah, but 3DO was like the 3DO company was American, right?
I think that I don't know exactly how it works out, but the tech was partly designed by
there was like
Trip Hawkins and
the shoulder buttons will go page to page.
Oh, right.
Oh, you should play Alone in the Dark at some point.
I will. Oh. Return Fire is very good. But yeah, I mean, I always think about how after the system, like 3DO made all the like the really bad Army Men games.
Yeah.
Oh, we got $7.77 from Seven Kurgand, who says, Dan, which PS2 models will be supported for the PS2 HDMI mod? Also, are you de-interlacing 480i to 720p, or what resolution will the mod be using?
So for the PS2, it was 3900. I think it's 3900. This is from memory and up. And I think it does them all. I would not recommend the last slim model though. And then also, what was the other question? Yes, it will have de-interlacing, so it'll do de-interlacing, and it'll be like the DC HDMI, which will be 960p or 1080p.
Whoa, deja vu! I've seen this already. First decision.
Now on this game, it might be better actually in 480i versus 240p.
Yeah, I know Bob talked about 480i and 240p working better for FMV. I think there's almost no FMV in this game, though.
But they're all just static pictures that are kind of video. Other than that opening FMV, other than the opening video, there's no FMV. So it is just these awesome credits. They learned how to do some filters.
Yeah. It's
says, I feel like if I tried to make a game, it would come out like this. have a little faith in yourself, Smoke Boss.
What does NASCAR even have to do with the game?
I don't know. I can't tell you anything about this game beyond like the first 20 minutes. I like that, how it's like that bears in the go-kart randomly. So I mean, I know that you have delayed the PS2 mod for a little bit, and you're going to be doing a PS1 maybe.
Yeah, so the reason the PS2 got delayed was so the de-interlacing is difficult. So that's essentially what's missing from the PS2 mod and PS1 support. So we kind of were like, you know, we might as well, since we have to figure out PS1 support for the PS2, we might as well do a PS1 mod first, because that'll obviously, we'll figure the PS1 out and then add that to the PS2 and then do the de-interlacing.
When do you plan on having that ready? I mean the PS1 one.
I'm hoping that we have some beta units maybe first of the year.
Oh, wow.
So the next, maybe March. If that's first of the year, I guess that's not really first of the year, but
Is this game expensive?
I bet it's
What is that zoom?
Gaming Blow says, "I bet you wish you were playing Prism right now, don't ya?" Well,
Maybe.
I always feel like people that were in games like this, these actors, they probably were telling their friends, "I'm gonna make it big. I'm in this major blockbuster. They're filming us. It's gonna be a new revolution in video games."
they're pretty excited about it, and it's like, I wonder what this guy's up to now. Like, oh man, I can't. This is probably the worst decision he ever made.
Just do it for your mother.
Ma.
John.
It does look kind of look like Zachary Quino,
Okay, whatever you want.
who is like disappeared. He hasn't been in anything in a long time. Or is he mainly doing stage stuff, like plays and stuff? Probably.
What did you say?
I said she
All these actors are smoking crack under the fridge right now.
Well, you better make time.
Probably.
You two are perfect together. She'll make a nice little homemaker. Mark my words, it's a match made in heaven.
I think I'll wait till I get there.
Stop, smart.
Not only that, but it's
man. Why is it I haven't seen you with
like
anyone?
people only come out of one
John, don't
stereo
you like
channel
women anymore?
when they're talking to each other.
Really?
Like she only comes out of the left and he comes out of the right.
No.
3DO normally outputs stereo.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Heaven. Then what is it with you? Why haven't I met any of your girlfriends?
None are right for you, Ma.
You mean of all the women out
What?
there, you can't find even
Dan.
one to marry?
One's easy.
This is like
One will last me a lifetime. Like they weren't too buy a water faucet.
Cut that crap and listen. Time you
So what camera are you using?
need children.
It
just-
allows you to do that.
I need my only
It's
child.
it's just some
My lifetime. You love your mother.
handy cam, but I'm using a little cam link adapter that just makes it like it just thinks the camera is like a webcam.
And what is your type?
We got a $1 donation from Bag of Schmidt who says, "How will the PS1 HDMI mod handle changing resolutions?"
It's just
I'm sick and tired
So
of
there
excuses.
shouldn't be any drop in signal since the clock stays the same. So that's kind of the major question. Will menus, when you go to a menu on like a Final Fantasy, will it drop out? It'll all stay seamless.
Where are you, Jane?
You called me, Daddy. Don't you know
Really? So even
How the hell am I supposed to know that?
I mean, even though it has to, it handles like the change internally, basically.
Yeah, because it has a frame buffer in it, so it can handle the change.
Oh, okay. So specifically for that.
Correct.
That's cool. I think that'll make a lot of people happy. I mean, that solves the Chrono Cross problem right there, and the Silent Hill problem. That's cool. I didn't realize it was so close.
I mean, it's a lot of the hardware is used from the PS2, so a lot of the code is the same and things like that. So it's, you get to recycle a lot of your stuff.
Just the problem. Daddy, I gotta get to my new job.
New job? What happened to the last one?
And we obviously found learned a lot from the DC HDMI.
Right. Which is still getting fairly
It's okay, Daddy. It's okay. It
like
doesn't hurt.
frequent firmware updates. I mean, every couple months still. I mean, there was just one that came out a couple weeks ago. There was very specific in what it does. I'm not even sure if I have not updated to it yet.
Yeah, it'd be hard to. So some of the games are the bit levels in the RGB is what it fixes. So on some games it doesn't use all the lines, so those lines are just driven low, and essentially that just changes the max white value. You really couldn't tell. Some people can tell. There's this guy named Tech who can see anything on a monitor, but
Can I just skip this?
no, you can't.
I think you should play Alone in the Dark.
You can't skip this. We'll just go through this, and then I'll play Alone in the Dark. I mean, when did this game come out? I mean, this is the era of USA Up All Night. I mean, I'm sure people in the chat know what I'm talking about. Do you guys ever watch USA Up All Night?
Was that on HBO?
No, it was on the USA Network. For a while, it was Gilbert Gottfried was the host of it, and it's just like B movies, and it would be on Saturday nights, from like 11 until 2. They'd show 2 movies. All right, I'm switching the game. This is silly. It's just. It's not even a game. I'm not even doing it.
Yeah. Did you even get to the first decision? I wonder how many decisions there are. So is this game like actually officially licensed?
It's got like a press disc and everything, so it's got to be somehow legit. I don't think Panasonic had a lot of no Nintendo quality of seal or seal of quality.
Well, like I'm pretty sure 3DO was like the 3DO company, and then Panasonic was just like kind of one of the main companies actually made the thing.
Oh, really? So they didn't actually Panasonic actually didn't.
I don't think
the
so.
hardware.
That's my understanding, but I'm not 100% positive on that. I mean, Panasonic may have owned a share of the 3DO company.
I don't know. I know that Electronic Arts was. I'm not sure if they had any ownership in it, but I mean, Trip Hawkins created Electronic Arts, I think. So Troy, have you ever played Alone in the Dark? Are you familiar with it at all?
I have not. I can't even think off the top of my head like what it. Whoa, that is a logo.
This is a game I feel that would be right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, and I just know surprisingly little about it. I played I think a demo on PS3 for some like more modern Alone in the Dark game, but I can't remember what it was. Let's see, we got 10 I believe Brazilian reals.
Nice, thank you.
From Pedroca Severo. Thank you. Saying what kind of deinterlacing options will there be on the PS2 HDMI? If it's not a lagless solution, how many frames will it be reasonable to expect?
So right now there'll be 3 options. It'll be, Bob, which is the lagless, Weave, which is going to be one field, so 8 milliseconds, and
so
then
will that have the?
I feel like I gotta be. Is
have,
Edward
like,
Carnby?
Artifact?
Yes, correct. Yeah, there'll be combs. And then the other one would be the motion adaptive, which detects motion and then interpolates or weaves depending if there's motion or not, and that would be 1 frame.
It's pretty fast.
So
would it be like comparable to like FrameMeister deinterlacing?
We hope. That's the goal.
But the PS1 mod is not going to have that full deinterlace option.
Correct. It'll just have weave and Bob, because there's really most games are 240p.
Yeah.
Or around that. There's not many interlace games. I think there is a handful.
Games, a few fighting games.
But it is one of those things, though. The hardware will be the same, so once the deinterlacing is done, it can be put back on the PS1.
Oh. So in other words, get it out, then perfect it on the PS2 mod, and then patch the PS1 mod to be able to do it.
Yeah, for the handful of games that do the interlacing.
Try. This is definitely a big inspiration of Resident Evil. For Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of the significance of this game. I just have not had a lot of exposure to it.
I mean, I don't know if it came out on anything else other than PC and probably Mac and this.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Let me do some Wikipedia-ing.
And plus the main character's name is Edward Carnby. It's a great name.
I did look up that the 3DO company was separate from Panasonic, and they conceived it, and Electronic Arts was, I think, one of the main backers.
Yeah. Someone was saying, I think it was Paul Sutton was saying that the reason it was so expensive is because Panasonic only got royalties from, or made money from selling the hardware. They didn't get any royalties on the games or anything.
That'd be hard. That would be a cutthroat market then, with the hardware being from other people too.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like it'd be worth it. And imagine doing all that and it still not succeeding.
I wonder what the hardware would have cost if they. Well, a lot of now hardware is all subsidized almost. Like they take a loss. I wonder what it would have been if it was from a normal company. Because I think it was $6.99 or $5.99 launch.
This? Oh yeah, this was $5.99. Look at this. I mean, you go to look at. He's like, put up your dukes. Come on. Look at him. If you just stand there and you hold down the fight button, look at him. He's just like bobbing and weaving.
Decent animation, really.
Gonna run around. I mean, it uses tank controls like Resident Evil.
When you switch screens, do you have to change the direction of the D-pad, or does it keep you going in the same direction?
I don't know. Let me do this first.
Yeah, because that's usually that's a big thing that I would say most games that have changing camera angles. Like if you're holding the direction when the screen changes, it doesn't change your heading.
Things just got real.
This thing is coming after me.
What is that? Can you punch it to death?
I'm trying to. Get him! Oh, I punched it.
Something with teeth like that, I'm running.
Yeah, I was gonna say, get out of here.
For something called Alone in the Dark, though, it's,
yes, you keep on going
really
to it.
Well lit.
Well. It's like pushing the stool in front of it. That thing's coming after he's like taking his time going on those steps. Oh, is that a bow and arrow? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Well, yeah, that's right. With tank controls, it wouldn't matter when the camera angle changes. But there are games like, I think of like the early God of War games. They had like changing camera angles and stuff occasionally, even though they're like 3D, but it like kind of used a fixed camera. When the camera snapped to another position, like or I think Devil May Cry does it as well, where like the direction you were holding, your character keeps moving relative to that direction until you let go of the stick and then move it again, and then it's like adjusted. See, we got a $1.99 from Mitch B.
Thank you.
Saying I bought a 3DO just to play Starblade. Waste of money.
I'm not sure what Starblade is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Oh my God. My friend Lou, when we played this game, this zombie, like, it scared him so much.
It's kind of like little.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of I mean, I can kind of see, like, because it's like, it's not just a zombie really, it's just like,
oh gee,
it's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah. The end. You did it. Game beat. How's the 3DO version of Doom?
Garbage.
Oh, is it?
Someone's actually working on someone named Optimus. I don't know his real name, but he's a 3DO dev guy, and he's trying to make it better.
Interesting.
Wolfenstein runs pretty good, but it runs too fast on 240p.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what Starblade is.
Now?
There's two characters to choose from.
Oh, okay. So I thought maybe you like picked up as this character since the other one died or something.
Oh, look, there's just a rifle in there the whole time.
Well, now you know. Well, hey, we got Jose Cruz in the chat.
Oh. Guess I got a $1.99 donation from Gaming Blows, who says,
yeah.
"You ever play Queen the Eye?" I mean, is it actually a good stream idea, or is it not good? Well, Gaming Blows is the way he donated money over the course of a year for me to play this game Prism, the last, like the Prism the Unicorn or something, like the last Unicorn or something like that.
It's Prism, the something Chronicles Chapter 1.
Take him out, Corey.
I'm trying to. I actually shot the.
Shot the range. Shot the.
How do you get it?
You know, that's pretty impressive though. That rocking horse moved when he shot it though.
Yeah. Come on.
I tried to look up the full.
Oh, I got him.
Oh, it's Prism: The Dark Chronicles.
That's right. And it was the most popular stream we've ever had.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy actually. I was trying to find the full title on Wikipedia. When I typed in Prism, it just brought up this thing. It says Prism is a nightclub located on Upper Parliament Street in Nottingham, England.
Oh gosh, that thing is open on its own. Oh, jeez, that is kind of creepy. It just came up from there. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but
This probably would be pretty scary back in '93. If you were like 8 years old.
The rifle is empty.
Oh no!
You only have one bullet?
No, I wasted him on nothing basically. Oh, I'm pushing the stool around. Get out of my way! It'd be great if she was like pushing the stool down the stairs.
Physics.
I don't know why it's so funny to me.
Oh, there's a shotgun right there on the side.
No, it's a bow and arrow.
Oh, it's bow and arrow.
Are those doors 3D or
yes?
Are they just like frames?
They could
be.
I mean, know. If
it actually is 3D, that texture is like really high resolution.
Oh, it's locked. I push the chair.
I can't tell. You know what I mean? Like, is it pre-rendered frames or?
I don't know. The thing is, the game just feels like it moves so slow. That's what makes it difficult.
Well, it's like 10 frames a second too.
Yeah. I wonder how long this game is.
You know, honestly, it kind of makes me think more of like Clock Tower than Resident Evil.
Do you feel compelled to play it, kind of?
Maybe. I mean, the problem is it's like not really available for any system I own.
Ooh, look at that.
You don't have a 3DO? Try?
I don't. And then, like, you know, the sequels are on systems I own, but I don't know about playing the sequels without playing the first.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Take that. Look at how much it bleeds, though.
You're doing a little better the second time around here.
Yeah. I got him. Look at that.
Whoa, that's an interesting effect.
I'll play Starblade next.
Try the whatever that Star Wars game was at some point too.
That's an FMV game. That and Starblade are very similar.
I thought there was actually 2 Star Wars games. I thought there was a flying game.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is it Rebel Assault? I think is the flying one.
Oh, it's a rail shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Here comes another. I'm gonna kick him. Here, watch me kick him.
I mean, the way they kind of come around, they just come around the corner.
Right in the face.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, there's Dr. Hauser is on this too. Jimmy Hoppa did a video on Dr. Hauser. I'm gonna slap him. Watch. I'm determined to kill it like this.
Kill it or die trying, yeah.
Got him.
Oh!
Oh, I can go through here. So this definitely plays with camera angles. Makes it difficult to figure out where you're going because it hides the camera. Hides it using the camera angles.
When that zombie like comes around the corner where you can see it in the doorway, like was there a sound before then? Or did it just like appear?
I didn't hear anything. I don't have it turned up very loud.
Yeah. I mean if it just appears, like that's kind of creepy.
Ooh, first aid case. I mean, this is very similar to Resident Evil.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely play this game if I had the opportunity.
I wish I could stop hitting the B button. Oh, geez, what is this? Is it like a demon?
What? It's not doing anything.
Oh, geez, my saber blade is broken.
Oh, it fell off?
It broke. Oh.
I love
let me slowly drink my flask. You feel better. She's like, oh. She goes, ah, you feel better.
I love how the items have to have like an article before them. You know, so it's like an empty flask, a rifle, a saber blade.
I just like threw the saber blade at it. I don't know if I can keep on doing it.
Let's jump over the rail.
I wish it would let me.
Yeah, I wonder if you have to have a certain weapon to get past these characters. They almost seem like they're blocking the way.
Yeah. I like this though. I mean, I don't know.
Drum and I should probably like He probably has it on like Steam or something.
This?
Yeah, or GOG or something. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. We should play this some October though, just to do it. Oh, you died the same way as the other guy.
All right, so next up, I'm gonna play Starblade. So yeah, if it works out that in the new house, if I have enough space, I'm gonna try to get a Astro City candy cab if I can. Should probably talk to Jose about that. He probably has a lot of contacts for people like that.
I thought you were going to say you're going to have like a whole corner to the basement dedicated to 3DO.
Yes. It's just going to be a demo unit. It's on all the time. The only thing, I mean, I could never have one at this house because I wouldn't want to take up to the 3rd floor. But there, I'll be in the basement.
Jose says, yes, I can help you with that.
And there's
sounds like
I have a friend who does that stuff.
Oh, sounds like you got the connections to make the connections.
The Astro Cabs are the Naomis, aren't they?
No, they're the sit down cabinets.
Oh, so you're gonna put whatever you can put whatever
you want basically in it. I'm going to play the enhanced version. It's not the arcade version. It has all the texture mapping and everything. Not that it really matters. I mean, it's just FMV. I love games like this. It's just like a roller coaster.
I mean, this looks fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Tekken 5. This right here is a reason to buy Tekken 5.
Oh yeah. That's right. This game was in that video.
Yep.
Was it higher resolution?
I mean, the arcade game is 480i. Wait, Gaming Blows, you say Lemon was begrudgingly playing that last night on Digital Foundry. Did he stream or something? Is Digital Foundry
for the CDI?
Yeah, was he streaming?
I didn't think John really did any streaming.
Yeah, I know that they were kind of talking about it, but I'm not sure if they. Oh, just a new casual upload.
It was an upload playing some CDI.
I know they had been talking about streaming.
Yeah, I knew that John and Audie recorded CDI stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything had released yet, though.
Do you have a CDI, Corey?
I don't. I don't have that or a Jaguar.
My dentist had a CDI in his waiting room, and to this day I regret not asking him, like, would you be interested in selling that?
Dan, you should come out again when John is here at the end of the month. I mean, he's usually in town for like 3 weeks or something like that. 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm actually thinking about maybe.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, since the CDI is so close to 3DO, I thought about making the board possible for the CDI as well.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
John will be first in line.
Yeah.
There's so many revisions to the CDI, and they're actually pretty expensive still. Last time I looked.
And there is one. There's a set that is capable of RGB though.
Yeah, there's some PAL models I think that came with RGB by default, but I don't think any NTSC machines did.
I wonder if it's good RGB.
Because I have two CDIs that are the same, and they have a chip that supports RGB, but there's no hookups on the back for RGB.
Well, you should do it. I mean, why not?
Because he doesn't have a CDI?
I feel like the CDI is even worse than the 3DO. So it's just like how low do you go?
Yeah, it's like when you were saying my least favorite part about doing this, or the hardest part about doing this was mustering the enthusiasm to do it in the first place. No, I like the 3DO, but a handful of games.
It's inessential.
Yeah.
You should play some Japan exclusives.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what, but I bet there's some interesting games in there.
The toughest part about this.
Someone earlier in the chat said that half the 3DO library is 3DO exclusive.
Yeah, if anybody, it's
Japan exclusive.
I mean, Dr. Hauser is the one that everyone talks about, but is there any like shooters or anything? The annoying thing about this is that you can only move in 4 directions. There's like no diagonal movement for the crosshair.
Or maybe they said half the Japanese library is exclusive. I forget. They said something like that.
I mean, are you gonna play Road Rash?
I mean, I could, but we've played that one.
We've played Road Rash on stream a ton before.
Yeah. That's why I was just trying to play some other stuff that we haven't normally played. I could play Dr. Hauser. I don't know really much about it. But when I die here, I'll do it. My shield's empty anyways.
Wonder if there's any Japanese platformers or RPGs. Sailor Moon has a fighting game on 3DO, Japan exclusive. Huh. We got $2 from Quest for Glory Gamer. Thank you. Would you want one? I have 2 Philips CDIs. I don't know what I would do with a CDI, but I do kind of want one. I regret not getting one back when the Zelda games were like still kind of affordable.
Captain Quasar's an interesting game too.
Oh, we got.
I mean, I know the Zelda games are absolutely terrible, but I do kind of want them.
You see the donation? We had a $2 donation from Quest for
Yeah,
Glory.
you must.
I was changing the game. Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah, he said, would you want one? I have 2 Philips CDIs. You both said I wouldn't trust them with 2 CDIs.
Just comes down to, I mean, it comes down to how much they cost.
That's true. I mean, you could at least burn games to play them. I mean,
yeah.
You know me. I don't feel a strong motivation to play a game unless I own it. But you know, at least there are things that you can do with the console.
I feel like this game Tetsujin might be good. It's
Tetsujin,
and there's Tetsujin and Tetsujin Returns.
Ooh, well, if there's a Tetsujin Returns, then Tetsujin must have been pretty good.
We're gonna go in blind. Let's see how it goes. Is the Philips CDI the one to have?
I don't know much about the models.
There is a ton of models.
I'm sure John and Adi can tell us all about it.
I don't remember the model I have. I have to go back and look.
Peggy Schmidt says, watch it be a hentai game. I mean, going through the Japanese library could be risky.
Yeah.
I think there were some people saying that there's maybe some plumbers don't wear ties equivalents in the Japanese lineup.
I think if it was a hentai game, people would be like, You should turn it off. Like, I mean,
Or you get a bunch more subscribers.
before they give us a strike on the channel.
Tetsujin has a U.S. release as Iron Angel of the Apocalypse.
Oh wow, it's quite the name.
Quest for Glory Gamer says he has a 550 and a VE200. I don't know anything about those model numbers.
What looks cooler, you think?
Oh, I don't know. I think Joe knows a lot about the CDI too, doesn't he? He did a video.
Oh, it's like the first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at it. A little.
Those blue doors make me think of Wolfenstein.
And there's strafing. I don't have any weapons, so I don't know what I can do here. I can hit though.
Like with these really narrow corridors, it kind of feels like it should have just been a dungeon crawler and not like an action game.
Yeah. But watch the animation when I open the door. Just the hand, like.
Yeah, the hand just like appears for one frame.
Yeah. Ooh, I gotta equip it. I got the slug gun.
The portable ones are interesting. Are you talking about CDI? There aren't portable
Ooh,
CDIs,
there we go.
are there?
Ooh, that's a cool explosion.
Yeah, I'm into that.
What?
There are portable CDIs, really? Did you know that, Corey?
No, I had no idea.
Some with and without screens. That's wild.
That's weird, wild stuff.
The wild world of CDI.
This game doesn't seem good enough to to have a sequel.
Maybe the sequel's amazing.
I do like the explosion though. I don't know.
Portable CDI have a battery replacement port just like the Saturn. So it runs off of like
Oh, here we go.
CR2032s or whatever. That would be kind of wild.
Remember when FMVs were the reward?
Oh yeah.
You basically play the game just so you can get to the next FMV segment.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing fighting games on, my cousin's PlayStation, even though I didn't really care about the games, but I would play the arcade mode, with a bunch of different characters.
So you can see the FMV endings?
Just so I could see their FMV, because that was the coolest thing about fighting games on the PlayStation was every character had their own ending FMV.
In Tekken, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember doing that in Tekken. I remember doing that in Airgeist. Forget maybe Dead or Alive. I can't remember if that had FMVs or not.
Yeah, $5 donation from Lucas Peruzovich, who says, "What is your favorite 3DO game, and why is it plumbers don't wear ties?"
Why is it not? Why is it not Space Harrier? Because I guess Space Harrier's not on
it. I don't know. I like it because it just makes you feel like you're watching Cinemax.
Just like it.
Just like it. I mean, when that game came out, I guarantee there was a section of people that bought that specifically because there was no, there's not gonna get into it, but I'm sure that there is a contingent
there's
of
a
people.
whole genre of that. So I see that you have games. I have a multimedia section on my 3DO
right
section, which has, I don't even know what really is on there, but it's just a bunch of stuff from Vivid Entertainment, I think, which we all know what that is.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't realize that. I know that I have some of those downloaded. I downloaded like the entire library a long time ago, but I didn't realize that that's what it was.
There's a bunch of educational stuff too.
So it's like it's like porn and learning games is like the two things that has the most of.
Well, that's how they're able to get it for their wife. You know, they say like, "Hey, it's got all this educational stuff for the kids," and then they go buy the porn and they play it back in their den when they're
It's like, oh man, I can't wait till my wife goes to bed tonight. Until the kids go to bed.
It's still pictures.
It's just still pictures. They have like inverted color filters on them. Oh man.
Someone brought up Space Hulk, which wasn't it Classic Gaming Quarterly Chris who had like a weirdly detailed story about Space Hulk?
Maybe. I can't hear the name Hulk and not think of Hulk Davidson. No. So I'm thinking Space Hulk Davidson is in the house.
That would be amazing. That should be like the next Platinum Games game. Space Hulk Davidson in the house.
But I don't know. Like I just I had a friend who saved all of his money from his job to buy the 3DO at the end of the summer.
He was disappointed.
Well, we were way in the Crash and Burn. Crash and Burn is pretty cool, I think, and it was impressive at the time because it seemed like there was a lot of colors on screen at one time. I'm gonna switch up for this. I'm gonna play Crash and Burn.
I saved all of my money from my job in college to buy a 36-inch HD CRT. Which I mean was great for a few years, but then like it wasn't really once I started learning more about it's not really quite like a CRT. Then I was saying I saved up all my money from my job in college to buy that HD CRT. So I don't know whether me or your friend was wiser. I mean, for a few years I was absolutely in love with
this is different. I mean, this was like it wasn't even like a real job. He was working at this place called Chautauqua Institution. He was working in the library, and he must have been 14 or 15. So I don't even think he was being paid like real paychecks.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember how excited he was. And this was the first game we played. Because it was the pack-in game. Look at that. Look at those sound effects.
Wait, what game are we playing now?
This is Crash and Burn.
Oh, okay.
I love these guys. We always like this guy.
You guys remember the game Mega Race?
I never played it. I know of it though. Did you play it?
Yeah, just kind of getting that kind of vibe from this game.
Spook Monster says I have that shirt, and I can't tell if he's serious.
He's the Australian guy. We always like this guy too. This was the first game I tried out on this 3DO. To be honest, like what
was your impression?
I know. I'm just saying, like when it showed up in the mail. This is the first game I played.
He like it was a mail order.
No. I'm talking about when Dan shipped me the 3DO.
I thought you meant the first you played on your friend's 3DO.
Well, that was that too.
Oh, well, what was your impression then?
Well, Well, it was super impressive. I mean, the closest thing we had seen at this point was F-Zero. And then you have this, and it's got like hills and everything like that. That's I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But the frame rate is nowhere close.
No, but I mean, we weren't thinking
It's
about
not terrible.
No, we weren't thinking about frame rate either. I mean, we were just like, oh
Right,
wow,
well,
it looks
and
awesome.
I wasn't either. Like, I mean,
we probably never thought for a second like, oh, it doesn't look that smooth. Probably isn't.
Right. I mean, it's definitely interesting how, you know, we went from, you know,
Not thinking about
decade of games being like 60 frames per second, and then when we made the jump to 3D, like
it became a.
I'm sure some people thought about, but I was never like this isn't as smooth as my 2D games, you know?
Yeah, but then there's certain scenes like that. I mean, that one is
Like-
perfectly smooth, but I mean, it never crossed my mind that oh,
Right.
it looks like it's
Right. Well, I remember like it was such a big deal that F-Zero X was going to be the first like 60 frames game on the N64. And I remember thinking like maybe it was like the first 60 frames game ever. Because I didn't understand that because video is 30 frames per second. I knew that.
Right.
So I didn't understand that games could be 60 frames per second. And a lot of people still don't understand that. We'll get comments telling you that, you know, like, no, old games can't be 60 frames per second. And it's like, well, they are. And then some people will fight you over, like, you know, the semantics of frames per second and fields per second. And
yeah.
it's like, it doesn't matter. It is still a new frame as far as the game is concerned.
Yeah.
Like a 60 frames per second game that is running at 480i even, like, okay, some games is 30 frames per second and you have a new field, 2 fields for each frame. Some games it's a new frame for every field. It doesn't make it not 60 frames per second. It's still 60 frames per second, like Devil May Cry. Or a lot of PS2 games. I mean, there are a lot of 60 frames games on PS2.
Yeah, we got Lon Seidman in the chat.
Oh,
Welcome. I feel like this might be one of the first streams we've seen you on. Thanks for checking it out.
Yeah, a lot of people have actually. I mean, Jose stopped by.
Yeah.
Joe stopped by. Bunch of the big people here to see Dan.
Yeah. I mean, this is his magnum opus right here.
I'm just gonna retire. This is it.
3DO RGB. Rest on your laurels.
But I mean, I see that Lon is saying, you know, that this was at the time when this came out, singing it in Babbage's. I mean, it was impressive. I mean, it was, and I think
also just.
Oh,
I was gonna say even just disc-based consoles were super impressive at the time too.
Yeah.
You know, just CDs. That was just a selling point in itself, whether it was good or bad.
And just, you know, if you were into like just like home theater technology and things like that, I mean, something like this would just be immediately appealing to you.
And did they advertise the 3DO as like not a kid's toy?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that was the
Heavily.
because
I don't know
most kids couldn't afford it, really.
Because when I've talked to Christoph, he said the PS1 was the first console that was considered not a kid's toy in Europe.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Like
He said-
marketed that way, or just like was just like kind of the public
I
perception?
from what I understood was kind of the public how the public envisioned it. I don't know if they advertised that way, but
Right. I mean, Germany has always kind of had a weird relationship, I think, with like games, like particularly violence in games, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's always, you know, they always had to do the whole probotector thing.
Yeah, and they didn't
And
like
so,
they didn't like
like-
ninjas there. I mean,
Yeah. Had to have the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
yeah. Speaking of ninjas, you know, my son is signing up for this thing called Ninja School, where it's like a
Oh.
weekly class that they go to called Ninja School.
Is he excited?
Super excited.
Are you worried that he's
Gonna become a ninja?
yeah, you're worried he's gonna become a ninja?
Well, I mean, as long as I'd rather have him on my side than be against him.
I mean, you know, he can. I mean, once he's learned everything, he can probably just like one credit clear, Revenge of Shinobi, like the first time he ever tries it.
Because it's just like being a ninja. Exactly.
It's just like being a ninja.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, my daughter went to dance when she was like this age, and he's gonna do ninja school. But I mean, how smart is it to market your whatever they're doing there as that?
Is ninja school?
Yeah, I mean,
totally.
it's irresistible for children.
That's way more exciting than just like karate.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, ninjas get to kill people. Karate people don't.
Yeah, it's all about self-defense. And ninjas are all about killing as many people as quietly as they can.
Yeah, I don't think there's a ninja code. I think it's just, you know, don't get caught.
Yeah, basically. All right, I'm getting a little sick of this. It's for the time being. See, that's the thing when you have all these games at your disposal. It's like, oh, I just play this for a few minutes.
Now, is this 3DO console, like, I don't really know how this, like, USB mod is, or Flash Media mod, or whatever, how it works. It doesn't take away the disk drive functionality?
No, it does. It replaces the disk
Oh, it
drive.
does?
Yeah. It's just like a USB port in there. I mean, Dan, you installed it, and you designed like a specific piece of, like a specific ribbon or flex cable for it, right?
Yeah, I made like a little QSB that just makes it look nicer. Otherwise, you have like 20 wires soldered everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's seamless looking. I mean, I don't know. I don't quite know why it has two USB.
He does that. He did that so if you have a fat USB stick, it can sit taller.
Okay. They
bottom,
both don't work.
Yeah, the bottom port's a dummy.
I see. Okay. All right. Oh, so yeah, Space Comet 24 frames a second, it says. Right there. Right back.
Wait, what about 24 frames per second? This is the game that you play with John.
You know, let's play that. Let's play that, Lon. We'll play some Wing Commander.
What was it about? What was it about 24 frames per second?
It said that Total Eclipse runs at 24 frames per second.
Why did it say that?
I don't know.
Well, just make you go.
That's
what everything else
part
ran,
of the...
everything else ran at 12, and that was impressive.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like, ooh, cinematic. You know, what was it?
Try. Have you ever seen this before? It has Mark Hamill in it.
I have definitely seen something about this game. I mean, that's cool. Like, I mean, you know, Mark Hamill was not really in a lot of stuff like at this time.
I thought this was disc 1. I don't know which one is disc 1. Hang on.
I also have like voice acting, to my knowledge.
So there's
No,
a real. No,
Oh,
go
on.
ahead. I was gonna say there's a real expensive add-on you can get for the 3DO. That is a memory expansion. It's around $300 to $400 if I remember right.
Wow. Where do you plug it in?
There's an expansion port on the back.
Okay. So is there just like a RAM chip, battery backed RAM or whatever, where all this stuff is being stored?
There's no battery inside, so it's
Flash?
yeah.
We got $5.99 from Seven Kurgan. So I'll wait till Corey is back to read this.
I'm not sure how.
Try, of course.
Huh?
As I say, I'm not sure how disk switching works on the
USB.
Yeah,
Flash?
I don't know if you have to save the game and reboot that disk up or. Oh yeah, it looks like someone says the 3DO has a battery inside which saves its internal saves. I don't remember there being a battery in it. Taking apart so many of these.
I'll try Super Wing Commander after this. I saw there was a donation from
Yeah. I was waiting for you to come back.
Oh.
Because it says, Corey, Mike Hager is here. December 89 marks 30th anniversary. I know your play is full, but I hope one day you make that Final Fight comparison video. And we will.
Yes, I mean it'll probably be fairly early in the year.
Yeah, that's a video I'm excited about. I've loved to have done it this year, but yeah, our plates have been full this year, and like we're just like so close, like just in reach of our plates being clear. And
yes,
just gotta hang in there for another couple of months.
Yeah,
we'll be there. So yeah, I'm seeing Mark Hamill there. Remind me that I came across something several months ago. Oh, John Rhys Davies is in this.
Yep, and so is what's this? Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, huh. Crazy cast. But I came across something that Mark Hamill was in like, I forget, late 80s, early 90s. That was like super crazy low budget.
The Guyver? I mean, I saw people talk about the Guyver earlier.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's a pretty horrible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like some really low budget something. And I looked at some clips on YouTube, and it was kind of like, wow.
You guys ever seen the Wing Commander movie? Live action. Most people saw Wing Commander because it's the movie that had Star Wars Episode 1 trailer attached to it.
Really?
Yeah. It's not good, but it has a extraordinarily good soundtrack. Like it's got this like overture theme that is something you didn't hear a lot of in movies at that time, and you don't hear much these days. It's a very, very good theme music. It's just.
But it doesn't have the star cast that this has.
It's got Freddie Prinze Jr. in it.
Yeah, it has Freddie Prinze Jr. and the other guy that was in he was in Scream. Like they were in a bunch of movies together during that time.
For a moment, I was like,
Matthew
man,
Lillard. That's it.
like that is some high class 3D rendering.
Did you see these guys? I mean,
yeah, because
they're
like they kind of look like CG characters, and then you realize, oh wait, no, they're live action.
What it's kind of cool though. I mean,
they do look cool.
Yeah,
there was a little bit of a budget on this.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't. Considering the alternative was probably just having crummy looking CG animation, I think this is probably way better.
I mean, I am all for practical puppetry and practical costumes. You know, back like when CG effects were like starting to become big, like late 90s, early 2000s, I was like super into like computer generated special effects, but I'm like pretty far the other way now. Like I really like it when movies make the effort to do practical effects, you know. we got a $2 donation from Warren Hookie, who I think we say your name wrong every time. I think you just say WRN Hookie. I believe you told us that one time. Best way to play Final Fantasy X for the first time, PS2 HD. To be honest, I've never played through any of the HD versions, even though
I understand it's pretty good. It's probably the best way to play it at this point.
I'm sure that's probably the best way. There were a couple of glitches, and I don't know if they've been patched out of every version yet.
The PS4 version had a glitch where what is it? The RNG or whatever. What is it called? Like the
random number generator.
Yeah, was never random. It like always followed a specific set of. I mean, it wasn't random, and they had to patch it for it to be random.
Okay, yeah, there was a glitch like that, and there was also a glitch where the map music, the walking around music, reset every time after a battle.
Right. Yes, that was one of them as well. Look at these.
And so that I know I think that was patched on the PS3 version, and then when the PS4 version launched, it still had that glitch. But I think they fixed it. As far as like the more recent HD versions, I don't know if it was fixed in those or not, but it certainly looks good on PS4. You know, the like 30 minutes of it I've actually played. Final Fantasy X is personally relatively low on my Final Fantasy list, even though it's relatively high on most people's. But I still like the game, and I would like to play through the HD version sometime, but I've just never gotten around to it.
Are you able to skip through this, or are you watching it?
I just kind of watching. I'm just thinking about how, like this should have been the Luke that was in Star Wars Episode 7.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
kind of wild seeing like Mark Hamill and John Rhys Davies like acting together. Like, you know, like they're I kind of associate both of them as being from like Lucas produced movies, right? But not together.
No, sir. It's just
There's Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
I'm actually, so this game came out in 95, which would have been on the last leg of the 3DO. So you think this was like in production, like right when the 3DO like was conceptualized?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lon was talking about how it was, you know, as a PC game as well, and the specs for the PC version were really high for the time, so it was almost cheaper to get this version. a PC game nobody could play.
It's always been weird to me that like Malcolm McDowell was the guy in Clockwork Orange.
I know.
Because like the whole story of that movie is like, you know, these young delinquent hooligans, and then like not that many years later, he's like this like really old looking dude.
Welcome aboard, old friend.
Like I feel like he just went from being like young to really old in like a short span of time. Like I have no idea what he looked like in between.
The animatronics on those heads are great. On the mouth,
they really are.
She's on some damn covert op for Tolwyn. But hey, I got good news for you. I put you back on the fly roster.
But I requested.
it's pretty impressive, actually.
I want you with me on my first mission.
Well, there are many.
I mean, there was like
pilots here.
There was like way more like just like planning and everything that went into this than like digital pictures stuff.
Yeah.
This is 240p still, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think it looks great on my PVM, I think. I mean, 240p video, like it doesn't really bother me that much.
Reputation of yours to the test. Confed intelligence tells us that the Karathi president.
So we can skip here.
I mean, I feel like it looks pretty good for 240p.
Yeah.
If you asked me what this was, I would almost maybe guess 480p, honestly.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
I wonder like how difficult it would be to get everything needed to make like an HD remaster of this.
Yeah, I wonder if that was even be possible. Because
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, where are the materials? Long says 3DO's FMV was so amazing at the time, looked better than VHS and super clean on my CRTs at the time. I could definitely see that. I mean, you know, I've told the story before, but like the first DVD I ever saw was The Legend of Drunken Master on friend's PS2. Like shortly after the PS2 came out, it was the first time I ever saw a DVD. And like when he hit the start button and it paused, it was like still. It didn't have like that jumpy jitter that you had when you paused on VHS. Like blew my mind. It was just like it was still. It was rock solid. And I gotta say, like, looking at DVDs again, like, really all I haven't really looked at DVDs a whole lot on CRTs lately, but the one time I did relatively recently was when I was doing that PS2 RGB episode, and I saw what DVD looked like on a PVM, and it was like, man, I like it. It just really took me back to that moment of being so blown away by the clarity of DVD. And it made me realize just like how good DVD still looks on CRT. Like, you know, we think, you know, DVD, like it's just got a lot worse, like compression and macro blocking and stuff compared to Blu-ray, because we're used to looking at it on HD TVs now. But man, you go back and look at a DVD on a CRT, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Man, we got Artemio here. like all everyone's showing up to this stream. Artemio, I was just before the stream, I was listening to your chat with Jeremy Parrish on Retronauts. I didn't have time to get through all of it yet. I haven't gotten to the smoke monster part of it yet. It was good stuff.
The thing about DVD, you were talking about DVDs, is like they are a really low resolution. A lot of people think they're a lot higher than what they really are, and they're only just 480i.
Yeah. I mean, that was the standard. I mean, it was standardized in like '97, I think, if I'm remembering right.
Probably, yeah.
I was telling our friend Drum, he comes over here for movie nights every Thursday, and I like before the words even left my mouth, he knew what I was going to say. And like this wasn't something he knew, but he could just like intuitively tell what I was about to say by the way I was saying it up. And he said, no. And I said, did you know that Blu-ray has been around longer than DVD was when Blu-ray released?
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I mean, think about that. Like, I'm pretty sure DVD was 97 and Blu-ray was 06.
Yeah, I mean, but there was still, what was the competitor to DVD? That
HD.
No,
DVD?
no, there was
VCD.
It was the one that you could like rent from place, and it would write to the disc, and it could be erased or something like that.
Oh, so like
was
the,
it? Was it?
the
Okay. Oh, it was
Divx?
Divx. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know Divx had a format like that. I remember like having to install like a Divx codec on my computer to like watch certain videos.
There was some type of disc that would erase itself after like 3 days.
Huh.
Yeah, that's. I
Trying
mean,
to
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was trying to be like you don't have to return the game or disc or something. I don't think it worked very well because I think light is what removed it. So like if it kept out in the light, I don't know.
Well, like, isn't that kind of wild to think? Oh, we got $1.99 from Paul Sutton says $2 toward a flight stick to play this properly.
Speaking of flight sticks, so I just got the Ace Combat 7 PS4 version when it was on Black Friday deal, and I've been dying to play the VR missions. And we were talking to Game Dave the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a flight stick so I could play it for real." And I'm kind of like, "Oh man, that sounds really fun." Even though it's only 3 missions, but how much fun would that be? How much fun of a stream would that be? Like me doing that with like a flight stick and everything. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going here.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine to think that Blu-ray. It was like 9 years. It was like DVD was like 9 years old.
DVD even took a while to get adopted too, even though it came out in '97. I don't think it really took off till like 2000 or 2002.
I didn't really know about it for a long time. I mean, it was like the PS2 was what really brought my awareness to DVD, and like I was like, oh, this is kind of amazing. And two, that was also like around the time that I was like starting to like get into movies. Like I watched movies like as a kid, but like I wasn't like into movies. And like it was really like late 90s, early 2000s, and like through college when I was like really starting to like kind of get much more into movies as a medium. And so like DVD like seemed like it was this like really vast broad span of time just because of watching movies on DVD with friends like late high school and all through college. Like once Blu-ray came around, like it wasn't really that many more years before like streaming started kind of becoming a thing. And like I just never really bought into Blu-ray. It just like didn't fit into that place in my life as cleanly as DVD did at the time. Because I mean, in college, I bought a bunch of DVDs in college.
Well, I feel like DVD was a big upgrade over VHS, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even though the resolution wasn't that much better, just the medium was just so. It just was perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was really like the ultimate video format for CRTs. You know, I actually watched a DVD on my 4K TV, possibly for the first time, back in October. I was I've rented from Redbox just a couple of times before, and I really wanted to watch the new Child's Play, which like Mark Hamill did the voice of Chucky in, the reboot of Child's Play, and it was like super expensive to stream, so I tried to get it at Redbox, but they didn't have the Blu-ray of it, so I rented the DVD. And it was like, I wonder if like DVD mastering like has continued to improve, like just like the codecs used and stuff, because it was not that bad. I mean, I certainly got used to it, and the movie was awesome, by the way. I think I've said on the stream before, but that was like my favorite horror movie I watched this past October. Like I was Drum and I both were like really impressed by it. Like it was legitimately a very good movie. I don't think we expect to be nearly as good as it was. We got a 677 from Seven Kurgan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Been on a roll. Saying, speaking about movies you guys are going to rewatch or watch, Blade Runner or The Running Man before year ends, both set in the year 2019. Oh.
I'm a big Running Man fan.
I love it.
I
saw the movie in the theater.
I saw Running Man, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago for the first time.
Oh, wow.
To be honest, I don't remember a lot about it.
I'm kind of surprised because I feel like when DVD came out, that was like the big pinnacle of movies was Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, like he was in the first releases of like Predator and.
Oh yeah, I mean he was on a roll for a long time there.
Have you played Captain Quasar on the 3DO, Corey?
No. I'll play that after this.
You should try that.
I got $2 from Gaming Blows, who says, F, Marry, Kill, 3DO, Jaguar, or Virtual Boy and Jaguar. I don't know. I'd marry them all.
I kind of like the Virtual.
So I'd probably kill the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
I'd marry the Jaguar, and I'd fuck the 3DO.
Well, I mean,
I've actually been getting kind of like finally starting to like build a bit of a Virtual Boy collection again. I mean, like not much, but like when I got my Virtual Boy, it came with Wario Land, Mario Clash, and
how do I get out of here?
V Tetris, which was, I believe, a Japan-only Tetris game. It's different, I'm pretty positive, from the 3D Tetris game that's out here. Oh, and it came with Red Alert.
Did you just get this recently, or are you talking about like?
No, this was like back in 2002 when I got my Virtual.
Okay.
I bought it on eBay and it came with a bunch of games, so it was not like I didn't pay a lot of money.
Well, when did it launch? That launched around
95.
Oh, it was 95? Okay.
So yeah, I got mine used on eBay in 2002 for not that much money, and it came with those 4 games. And later I got Mario Clash, and eventually, like, you know, when I was just doing some collection purging, I got rid of everything except Wario. I shouldn't have, but I did. It happened. Oh, did I mention Mario Tennis? I think that was one of the games. So I had like 5-ish Virtual Boy games, but Wario Land was like the only one that I like really loved.
And back to the Tiger's Claw.
But the others were,
Remember, this is no train sim.
other than Red Alert. I can't remember. Is it Red Alert or Red Alarm? I can never remember the name of that game. I didn't like that game, but otherwise, like I liked the other games okay enough. Mario Tennis was kind of hard to play, I thought, but not terrible. But yeah, I finally started getting some other Virtual Boy games.
That's how I get dressed in the morning. Every day.
I got Mario Tennis like a couple of months ago. Found a copy for like $10 at a local shop. And then when I was up near Cincinnati about a month ago, we went to that one store that had several Virtual Boy games and the little dust covers, which I understand those are quite hard to come by. And I got Tellero Boxer and Galactic Pinball for $20 each, which like I just jumped at that because I very rarely come across loose Virtual Boy games. It seems like most people who are into Virtual Boy collecting are like going for like complete in box. And I'm like, I just want the game because I want to play it. Like I just want the cartridge. I'd rather pay less money and just get the cartridge. And so
Are you playing on a virtual tap or are you playing through the goggles?
I mean, I haven't played it in a couple of years, but like I kind of like the 3D effect, honestly. I like how it works. Like I don't like lean into it. Like what I do is like I like lay down on a couch and just like let it like fall into because like the way that the stand works, like that stand like rests on your chest and it just like holds it like the perfect angle. It's very relaxing. But I do want to get like a Virtual Boy with like a broken visor or something to get the virtual tap because I would really like that. We got a $2 donation from Missing Bits saying pump up I forgot. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but thank you.
So I think this is the game that my friend who got the system had this game, and this is the one where the Kilrathi, they'll say to you, one of them says, "I will feast upon your entrails," and for some reason that is always stuck with me. It is like a funny thing.
Are those your legs? Like
yeah,
they look kind of weird.
Are they legs or are they hot dogs? We don't know.
They got grill marks on them.
Yeah, they do. They're totally hot dogs. They just look weird, like the way they're like curved around like the console there. They're just like weirdly like slender and like they
got
don't
him. Oh, look at that.
They don't look like they would be like connected like on your pelvis, like the place that they should be.
See, Lon, that's what I mean. A lot of people say, oh, games used to be so much cheaper than they are now. But it's not true at all. Looking through my old manual for, or the insert slips with my Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy III was $89.90 or $79 or $89.99 or something like that.
Yeah, games were pricey. It was tough to find a good deal. I mean, when the N64 launched, I remember, like $60 at the standard game price, but a lot of stores were selling them for $70.
That's crazy.
Like sometimes certain games were hard to find, so like they could get away with it. And I remember it was like late '97, I think, where I used to call the Nintendo the toll-free Nintendo number to get release dates back then. Because like Nintendo Power would just say, fall or spring or maybe a month, but you could get like an actual date if you called Nintendo. And I remember calling to get the release date on Diddy Kong Racing, and the lady said whatever the date was, and she said, and it'll be $49.99. I'm like, what? And like she's like, yeah, that's gonna be like the price going forward for N64 games. I'm like, what? Like this is the best news I'd ever heard. Like I was just like so excited. And it was like that's what the games were going forward was they went from 60 to 50, and then about 50 was like the standard new game price up until like 2005 or 6. I forget if that was the Xbox 360 or the PS3 when games jumped back up to $60. I think were Wii games $50? I think Wii games launched at $50. I don't think they were $60. I think Nintendo got on the $60 trend with Wii U. Yeah, I mean games have jumped back up to $60, and they've been there for like a decade and a half. They haven't gone up. Thank goodness. Man, when I see like the digital deluxe version of like, fill in the blank, modern AAA game where you get, all the goodies and bonuses and DLC and whatnot, and you buy like the digital deluxe version and it's like $90. I cannot
run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I cannot like wrap my head around like, okay, maybe if I was buying very rarely do I buy special editions of games. Like sometimes I do for the right game or the right bonuses. I think the most expensive one I did was, Breath of the Wild. But like I can't imagine doing that for like a digital download. Like I cannot imagine like, yes, I'm going to spend $90 and like not get anything other than the right to download this game to my system that I probably won't be able to download again in 10 or 15 years. Like I just cannot imagine paying $90 and not getting something physical.
Even at 50 or 60, I don't think it's worth it to do a digital download.
Yeah, I mean, I would struggle to. I've never paid 60 for a digital download. Like, probably the most I've spent for a digital game would probably be like the Phoenix Wright 5 and 6 on 3DS, since the English language versions of that did not get physical releases. But I'm a big Phoenix Wright fan, so I had to buy those. I never got the DLC for them though. I'm hopeful those games will be like ported to Switch someday, because like even if we don't get a physical release here, you can probably import the Japanese version and it'll probably have English in it. Because I did that with like the Phoenix Wright trilogy. On Switch, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's $30 is probably the most I've spent. We got $5 from Juan. Thank you very much. Saying, got a jet. Thanks for giving 3DO some love. Next time you're in Connecticut, come on over. We'll play some 3DO. Will do. Thanks, man.
Dan, I like I almost feel like that room is getting darker and the candle is just like lighting the room just that much more. Just like right over your shoulder. And you're like lounging there.
It just looks like such a comfy environment.
This is such a great game. I have the PS1 version of this as well.
Do you think this is going to beat the PS1 version?
Do I think it's better? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I last year John and I did a PS1 versus 3DO stream, and it was fun. It was fun to see how things ran versus each other, and in some cases, I mean, the like Road Rash runs really well, and is superior in some ways.
I forget what the PS1 version of this looked like, but I definitely appreciate the 3DO look for this game.
Yeah,
like it's a good look.
I mean, I see John Mastrantonis in the chat saying it has no geometry jiggle like the PS1. I mean, it does. It looks like a much later era game. There we go. He uses tank controls too. It's just easy to do this.
Like the perspective is like just far out enough that like, especially like on a CRT where it would hide a lot of the, you know, the nastiness, like it's just far enough away from that Jeep you were driving that like you can almost like really imagine that like the full detail is there of like the people in the Jeep and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, just like the way this game is zoomed out, something about this overhead perspective is really appealing to me. Like,
yeah.
It feels like it feels like it
yeah, there's a donation that's like in the...
did you from Rears the Blood, the $1, thank you. Did you play more Shadow Wars? It's really bad, great Mortal Kombat play.
Oh, I'll play that next.
I would love to see a bad, great Mortal Kombat play.
Yeah, I think it's got I think the characters are you know, FMV. However that's the wrong term, but however the Mortal Kombat was,
yeah,
you know,
digitized actors.
Right.
Yeah, I am way into that look. Even though like I'm not a fighting game guy, like I definitely appreciate the Mortal Kombat aesthetic. I certainly have nostalgia for it, even though I don't play it, just because, you know, my friends played it back in the day. At least the Super Nintendo version.
I feel like this game felt like it was ahead of its time. Just taking something as simple as capture the flag and making this game out of it.
It's like every phone.
I mean, it feels like you know, something that could have been done on NES in a much, you know, simpler way.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of what's appealing about it too. Like it's just, you know, just a simple game.
Yeah.
I feel like Super Nintendo could have pulled this off.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
because there's no hills, so they could have just done this mode 7.
Right.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't be quite the same, but like you've got examples on Super Nintendo with Mode 7 where you've got like Kefka's Tower, like, kind of going up above the land because they've just kind of got this effect of like a sprite, like a vertical sprite. Or is it Kefka? No, Kefka's Tower might be flat.
So like on this, you can see the shadows, of the trees based on the camera angle. Was that something that Super Nintendo would be able to pull off?
Now, wait, say that again.
So, like, if he was to zoom back in, you can actually see the shadows of the trees.
Right. I mean, it would be baked into the. Well, yeah.
Because here it's real time. I mean, it's.
Well, no, I don't think that's a real time shadow. Like it's. I mean, it like if you destroy the tree, like the shadow would go away too. But so it's probably not baked into the terrain, but it's like I would assume a separate element from the tree that they just removed at the same time. But it's not like casting a shadow, using
right.
like not in like the modern sense of like lighting engines and stuff like that.
The actual calculations of the source light.
I mean, the same thing with the helicopter's shadow. I mean, I'm sure that's just like a sprite.
Transparency, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a sprite that's just was like if you see it go over the buildings, I'm pretty sure like the height of the shadow doesn't change when he's going over the buildings. Like it's the same shape. You know what I mean? Like the shape doesn't change based on how he is relative to the height of the building.
How many people do you think you've killed so far, Corey?
Well, I don't see any blood.
There's
the tents.
They're all sleeping.
Yeah, well, no, it's right here. Like, look,
be enough.
Look at the tents. Like, oh, okay. I mean, they're definitely all asleep when I'm killing them. Look at them. See the blood coming out?
Full on blood.
That's a hospital.
Yeah, you monster.
So I just want that flag. I don't care about... Oh, they're running.
Well, don't let them get away.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm out of ammo. Is there a way to like blow myself up? Maybe not. Yeah, I love the use of the music in this game. It has like Flight of the Bumblebee is like when you capture the flag. I'm not sure if they had to get any licensing for that music. I bet you it's just like public domain. Yeah, as Kathleen Dalcourt says.
Sure.
It's smart, but also it's very fitting and appropriate for the game. Each vehicle has its own music, its own theme. Oh, I'm running him over, and it actually goes. That's horrible.
This is where Carmageddon got its origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine had, I think it might have been Carmageddon 2 on his computer back in the day.
Oh, here we go. There it is.
It's like that first level was easy, then they're just dropping you right to the wolves.
They are. They're just going all in. Okay, now I gotta go back and do that. I forgot how to kill myself. Just to.
Did this game have an arcade version?
No.
I mean, what's the platform of origin?
This
is the original version?
Yeah.
Not like PC or something?
No, I mean, unless somebody else can correct me, I'm pretty sure that this is the first system it was on.
Okay, we got Re-Res in here too.
Everyone's coming in.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just pulling in.
It's 3DO. I mean,
yeah. All right, here we go.
You know, Spook Monster, I was having the same vibe. Like the perspective kind of made me think of Blast Corps, like the size of the little people running around, kind of.
I bet you this was an inspiration for that.
I bet it was, yeah. Blast Corps is a fantastic game.
I think there's something wrong with my controller. It doesn't. Diagonals are basically non-existent. This was on PC as well, but I think that it was on this first. Uh-oh. The music.
I feel like Blast Corps is like maybe the most genre-defying game ever made. Like, I can't even begin to categorize it. Like, I guess it's an action game, but like, I just don't even know what you would call that. There's just like no other game like it. Yeah, action puzzle, but it's just like, even within those categories, I just cannot think of another game like it.
Is there any way to fix a Black Falcon? Is there any way to fix the diagonals on a 3DO pad?
We ever stream Blast Corps? I wouldn't be surprised if it just like came up in some random plane at some point, but I don't think
so. But I mean, you put it in like every thing that, I mean, if there's ever an N64, several N64 games in an episode, you always put that in there.
Yeah.
What's the name of that one game that they wanted me to play? The fighting game?
Oh, it was like Shadow something, maybe?
Okay, I'm gonna reset the system.
I mean, if Blast Corps didn't have like a time limit, I'm not sure you would really have a game there.
What?
I mean, you'd go back to the levels and like, you know, collect all the stuff later just for fun, but like, you know, the first time you play the level, if you didn't have that tension, I'm not sure there would be a game. Maybe Corey should stream Blast Corps sometime.
Maybe.
Because you've probably not played very much of it.
No. Do we know what it was called?
I feel like it was Shadow something. Or something Shadow. I think it was Rears
Oh, there is
the
Mega
Blood.
Race is on here.
I don't know if they're in the chat.
It was Primal Rage, I think, actually. No, it wasn't Primal Rage. That was a different one.
Yeah, that's
It
the
is a
dinosaur
fighting
one.
game.
Someone says Way of the Warrior. That's the Naughty Dog fighting game.
Yeah.
That's not something I know anything about. I wish I could remember. I mean, maybe it's possible it could be a Japanese game. Shadow Warrior? Was that it? Shadow.
Did I go?
Check Japanese, maybe.
Shadow War of Succession.
Way of the Warrior.
Well, Way of the Warrior is the.
Oh, here, where's the Bloods in the chat? It says Shadow Warriors. Is it a Japanese game?
How do I go up?
Is it the Shadow Warriors?
I always hit the wrong button to go up a level. Everything, it seems like everything moves forward. I can't
Maybe
back up.
ship text says War of the Warrior?
Oh. Do you know how I go back up? Because if I hit B, it selects the game. I think A selects the game too. So we're going to try Shadow War of Succession. Black Falcon immediately with a, oh man, Shadow War of Succession is the worst game ever made.
I don't know, the stream has already seen Plumbers.
Look at this.
Way of the Warrior is apparently the name of the game?
No, that's a different one. That's not the Naughty Dog one.
Oh.
Look at this. Oh, man. What is going on with this FMV?
Well, it's not using the 3DO's capabilities to the fullest extent.
So Mobius Strip did say Way of the Warrior is the Mortal Kombat clone.
Oh.
So maybe that's what they're...
Wait. Rears to Blood says this is it. I think this is what Rears to Blood wanted you to play.
I'm going to play on beginner because all these... Oh, look at this. How... It is. This is it. Ooh, listen, I got to be Carlos. I'm sorry, but I got to be Carlos. You know, when I was in high school, when I took Spanish class, my Spanish name was Carlos. Look at this guy. It's like, oh my god. That's... He goes, eat lead, baby. Get him. I wonder if this is one of the games that runs too fast in 240p. It almost feels like
I bet this is normal speed.
I bet it is. It just looks terrible.
It's so bad.
I mean, are you gonna?
It's very bad.
I wonder how you shoot your gun.
I know. I won't be able to do any diagonals.
Smoke Monster's Spanish class name was Fierro.
The voice when it says fight is so funny. When it says fight, it's so fun. It's hilarious.
How's it go?
It goes. I gotta hear it again. Hang on. It's like the sound is horrible on this.
The way this guy is like waddling around with his shotgun is just like hilarious.
I love how his head is up there underneath Sasha too. It's just like, just sitting up there, two heads now.
I will be the next Shadow King.
Look at the win icons under her. It's like my guy's head. Riggs.
That is also maybe the worst S I've ever seen that font. It's like a 3.
Just Anvil. I don't know. Like all these guys look kind of normal, and then you got this guy. I don't know why. I feel like I gotta be Riggs. Riggs. I don't want to do it. I don't want to die on the toilet, Riggs. I don't want to die on the toilet. That's what I was always saying to years ago when we met John Riggs at the Missouri Game Con. I was always like, Riggs, I don't want to die on the toilet, Riggs. This is ins. Hang on, here we go. Listen, I'm gonna turn up. Here it goes.
I couldn't hear it.
Well, you'll have to check it out some other time. This is
Corey's new favorite game.
This might be the worst game I've ever played. I mean,
it's amazing though.
Look, she threw that knife at me, and I was like, back.
You're running away from it.
I'm backing away from the knife.
Whoa.
Hey, Sandy.
It's funny. It has a fatality. Please do a fatality. Oh.
I will be the next Shadow King.
Let me let it run down so I can start over. Yeah, I can play against somebody different. This is. The Shadow King once again became the undisputed leader of Shadow.
Shadow.
It's like bringing about the golden age of Shadow as the Shadow Kings reach truly becomes global. Eventually, shadows, the Shadow King's shadow. There's a lot of shadows in this. Like, is this really necessary for like a game over?
The way that text, like, it almost looks like it's composite. Like,
I mean,
like
look at this. Like the helicopter's taking off from the water. I mean, look at this. The Statue of Liberty is gold. I mean, this
game was not prepared for RGB. Is this the first time this game has ever been played in RGB?
Probably. And probably the last.
Oh, I mean, I think this needs to become a staple of our.
I mean, you would never even expect the game to be about what it's about with that intro. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's like a helicopter game. This is probably the first time it's ever been streamed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
God, I was playing on beginner. I can't even imagine what the other difficulties are like. Let's try to see what advanced is like. Who am I going to be this time? I'm going to be Gabriella this time. I always have to fight stupid Sasha.
I want to see Erica with the sword.
You were lucky I wasn't there that night. Now your luck's
Look how long that arm is.
Like, Sasha is like so much shorter than everyone else.
Yeah, 3 knives on her.
Like, I do. Is there anybody in the world that's ever beaten this game on advanced? You think? Has it ever been beaten on advanced?
Probably.
Because I mean, it's like impossible to do anything. Oh, I feel like that's gonna be like it's like a Mortal Kombat style uppercut. I can't believe how bad the sound is.
I will be the next Shadow King.
I might try again. Try some.
Try Erica. I want to see
Okay.
Erica.
Maybe if I choose Sasha, it won't let me play against Sasha. It's
Maybe you need to be the guy with a ski mask.
What it seems like the music for each level starts in the middle of the song.
What is going on with your? Are you like doing that where you're like laying on the ground, or is she doing that to you?
No, I can't do anything. Maybe if I just do this. Here we go.
Oh!
That's the way to do it. Look at and the problem is it's so difficult, and I can't even do any. Look how much of my attacks take off of her health.
I know.
You're cutting her with a knife.
We need to make it our mission to get this game at Evo.
I'm gonna play on it easier. I need to win one round tonight. The stream isn't ending until I win one round.
It's almost midnight. I didn't realize. Who's gonna do it for you?
You said there's somebody with a ski mask. Yes, this guy Viper. Ooh. Oh.
That guy's like so generic looking. Oh, you're gonna fight Carlos.
Yep. Will you see if there's anything on GameFAQs about this?
What's the name of the game again?
Shadow. So Shadow War of Succession. Like, what is even going on?
Carlos looks like he's pretty good.
Look at that. Even if you block, it doesn't even matter.
There is a move list.
Oh yeah, will you look up something for Carlos?
You mean Viper?
Ooh, there we go.
Oh wait, this is like the shortest fact I've ever seen. Like I can see the entirety of this fact.
I can't get away from him
without scrolling.
I can't.
Like it just lists like 4 moves for each character. And that's it. Except Viper has 5. And Gabrielle has 3. And Carlos has 3. Okay, you're Viper.
Do they,
are you
list the finishing moves?
It's just who are you gonna play as?
I'm gonna play as Viper.
Okay. Viper's got 5 moves, okay? Earthquake is down toward away right shift. What does that mean?
Right shift are the shoulder buttons.
Okay. Disappear is away toward right shift. Grenade is down away C. Knife is down toward A. Slide is down toward C. So it's like down toward and away toward is everything.
I can't do this. The sound is just at the beginning of the match is completely quiet. And my guy goes, it goes on for so long. Hang on. I gotta make it do it again. I've never played a worse game. Hang on, listen.
how expensive it is.
Look at see if it's on eBay. I feel like I gotta have it. I need a physical copy.
You might get one here.
Shadow War of Succession Panasonic 3DO game in long box, $34.75 or best offer.
I did it.
$2 shipping. Oh man! Look at that strength bonus. Ooh, you can get a new sealed copy from Italy for $121.27 plus $19.97 shipping.
Will you look it up on Moby Games and see what if the people that worked on this have done anything else?
But yeah, there are
There's cheese in it, huh?
There are 2 complete copies on eBay.
I did it.
Used complete for between $34 and $37.
I won a whole match. Did it again. Hang on. Let's do it again. Hang on, listen. Hang on. Come on.
My name is Erica Storm. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
This is hilarious. She says, my name is Erica Storm. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That's what she said.
This was made by Tribeca Digital Studios. And that is this is the only game listed for that company.
It's a shock.
The programmer is Mark Erntman, and this is the only game he is credited for. The script/talent was RJ Aranita. This is the only game they are credited with. Let's see. Lead artist Alvin Williamson. It's the only game. Sound, music and sound is Rob Wallace. Ooh,
Wait, hang on. Shh. He's gonna do it again. Here he goes. Okay.
You'll be happy to know that Rob Wallace, who did the music and sound, is a fair number of games to his credits. And he's even got an official website, robwallace.net.
I'm just gonna spam this to see how far I can get.
It no longer exists though. He's worked on Wall Street Tycoon, Virtual Pool 64, Scarab, Empire 2: The Art of War, Cyberbikes Shadow Racer VR. I'll just skip around. Fifth Fleet, Hocus Pocus, Legions, Mario's Early Years, Fun with Numbers, Mario's Early Years, Fun with Letters, Mario's Early Years, Preschool Fun, NASCAR Racing, Odell Down Under, Shadow Wars.
Odell? Oh, that got me, Odell.
Odell Down Under.
That got me good, Odell.
IndyCar Racing, Mario's Time Machine.
Oh.
He had Mario was missing. He was all involved with those Mario edutainment games. There's like one song from Mario is Missing that like I still remember.
I feel like
it's not good, but it kind of stayed with me.
I need to at least beat Sasha. I was kind of feeling hopeful for a second there that maybe I'll get to see an ending, like beat the game there.
There are 4 actors listed for this game, so I'm wondering how many.
Well, the guy with the ski mask is clearly
everybody.
Yeah. So there is Denise Suhu, who has only been in this game.
Yeah, that's true. The guy with the hair, with the long black hair, you can't see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is Anthony Philippakis. Has only been in this game. Jennifer Politan. Only been in this game. Donna Rope.
Paul Sun says $200, but you only play this on next stream.
So I don't know if this is like a complete list of the actors in this game, but like it's 3 women and 1 guy. So I wonder if like 1 guy is all the male characters.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, it's possible the list could be incomplete.
Sasha's impossible, I think. Maybe Sasha's the last boss.
I would assume that last boss is that guy that we see like in the credits.
Yeah, like that demon.
Mm-hmm.
No. You would assume that, but there's no game beyond Sasha. It's impossible to beat Sasha. So it's they didn't actually program anything else. They just made it so that it's just Sasha.
You can't actually beat the game.
Yeah. Sasha is harder than Shao Kahn. Yes. You know what?
Maybe you should be Sasha.
Maybe I should, but I'm gonna try out Anvil. That one guy said use rigs and spam the fireball to beat the game in minutes.
Ooh. Do you know how to do the fireball?
No, can you? Here, look at him. He's got this. Anvil's got this knife. Look at that background. It's just like the water and then darkness.
I mean, I don't know if by fire they mean grenade, but there is a down away C listed on here. Ooh, you can unlock the Shadow King.
Oh yeah.
When fighting the Shadow King, press start on controller 2. The character selection screen should appear. Player 2 will highlight the question mark, which is the Shadow King, at the selection screen. Press play on controller 2 in order to select the Shadow King while the question mark is highlighted. Player 2 should be the Shadow King when the fight begins. Ooh, there's also a cheat mode. At the difficulty selection screen, press down, down, left, right, up, up on controller 1. This turns on the cheat mode. During a match, press the L button to instantly kill your opponent.
I'm gonna do that. I really want to see what the last boss looks like. Okay, keep that up there. So what is it on the difficulty select?
Down, down, left, right, up, up.
Down, down, left, right, up, up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Down, down, left, right, up, up. Is it supposed to make a noise or anything?
It doesn't say. It just says this turns on cheat mode. And then it says during a match, press the L button to instantly kill your opponent. This is the only way they can
Should
debug
definitely
the
be.
game.
Should definitely be Carlos.
I agree.
See if it works.
Carlos is definitely my favorite. If you're going to beat the game with someone.
You were lucky I wasn't there that night. Now your luck's run out.
Oh, she was dead before it even started?
Flawless bonus.
I love the idea of them saying, like, whatever, they're, like, talking crafty at the beginning and then immediately dying.
Underneath all that garbage, you're just like all the street punks I twisted before.
Is that a billboard up there? I don't know what that says.
It's too blurry to read.
Here we go.
Well, I'm glad this works.
Better than you.
Kind of figured you kind of fight him for a little bit. You know, egg him on.
No. Is there fatalities? Will you look at fatalities for him?
I mean, this doesn't list fatalities.
No, I kind of wonder maybe there isn't fatalities.
It's just like one last hit. You got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garbage, you're just like all the street punks I twisted before.
All right, here we go. Riggs.
Oh, there are a number of posts on the GameFAQs board.
You killed me
for
once,
this.
but now I am more powerful than you can
Going
ever
back
imagine.
to 2008.
He goes, "You killed me once, but now I'm more powerful than you can ever imagine." And then he immediately dies.
The most recent post is from 2016. It says digitized graphics for the win. If only it actually had finishing moves.
Underneath all that
There's a review on GameFAQs.
The
The title is possibly the worst game made for the 3DS.
Oh, here we go.
Well, this is pretty
Sweet
involved.
revenge right here.
Shadow War of Succession is undoubtedly one of the worst fight games available for any system. With awful controls, poor sound effects, and generally lazy design, there is little of value to be found in this game.
Well, I'm glad we're beating it.
The game's plot and characters are briefly described in the game's manual, but there is also an introductory cutscene. Shadow is a crime syndicate located in New York City. A helicopter piloted by an unknown assailant fires missiles at a large office building, killing the Shadow King, the head of Shadow. Other members of Shadow see this as an opportunity.
Oh, is there gonna be any
become
palette? Is there gonna be
the
palette
leader.
swaps? If there's no palette swap when you fight yourself, it's gonna be hilarious. Oh, okay. He's
Oh, you're just darker.
yeah. All right, so I think that's the last one. Here we go.
Probably the only decent aspect of Shadow War of Succession is the music, which sounds great, except for the fact that it's hard to hear over the noise of combat. Everyone grunts or groans when attacking or jumping. Some of it even sounds like barking. In a fighting game where players are constantly attacking and moving around, it's one horrid cacophonous noise.
Hang on.
Prepare to eat lead, baby!
Prepare to eat lead, baby. That's what he says. Whoa. Prepare to eat lead, baby.
Shadow War of Succession is simply one of the worst fighting games ever made and one of the worst games released on the 3DO. Even a complete neophyte at fighting games can see how little effort was put into the gameplay.
Oh, here we go.
0.05. Unplayable.
It is unplayable. Unless you're using cheat mode. This is surprisingly playable right now.
I love how like unstable like the frames of animation are. Like just in their idle animation, they're just like not quite lining up, you know?
Oh.
Ooh, a real challenge.
The red eye.
Red eyes. I should have put it on. So is it down, down, left, right, up, up?
Yeah.
If I can get it to work this first time, I'll put it on. I'll put it on advanced.
All right, then you can mark the game complete.
But if it doesn't work, then we're calling it a night.
You were lucky I wasn't there that night. Now your luck's run out.
It worked.
12:15. How long is it gonna take?
I don't know. We're gonna blast through as fast as we
Oh,
can.
I know. I mean, since you're using the USB, this might be the world record speed run for the game.
Yes. This is my personal worst game of all time, although we had a good laugh on the here in stream a few months ago. The dude who yells in this. Yep, I mean it's probably the worst game I've ever played. I mean, and that's not I'm usually pretty open to like bad games, but this is
incredibly
bad.
We have found value in it though.
Yes. If I end up playing this entire next stream, then I will go through and get every character's ending. Look at that. Like, it's not even animated. It's just like shifting back and forth. Look at him. And he just shifts like really fast before he falls down. Get the staff of this game together. We can do a Tribeca Game Works Complete Works video documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, they were probably pretty excited about it, but how do you even play test this? You know, I just don't even understand how you'd...
I mean, I suspect they were people who had never made a game before, and they had video experience, and they were like, oh, I saw what they did with Mortal Kombat, we can do that too, and they couldn't.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sure it was good intentions, but just in over their heads. And they probably thought, well, you know, it'll be okay enough, like, there's not going to be anything like it on the 3DO, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, you look at Way of the Warrior, which was Naughty Dog's first game, and it's not a good game, but I mean, look what they became.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be really cool if this was actually the first game of somebody who's like really good now.
Yeah.
Almost there, I think.
I do think this game needs to be like a staple. Like anytime we're talking about 3DO for more than
This has got to be in it.
If we talk about 3DO for more than a minute in any given video, this game has to be shown.
Every time, yes.
Every time, yeah.
And what does the cover look like? I mean, maybe I can buy it. It can be the new Monster World 4. Or Monster World 3 rather. Wonder Boy 3, Wonder Boy 5, Monster World 4, or was it Wonder Boy 5, Monster World 3?
Yeah. Ooh, I think someone bought the cheaper one.
Just now?
Yeah, the cheaper one. Someone watching this stream might have bought it because there was a 34.95 or something that.
It was $34.95.
Yeah, something like
geez.
that.
I thought it was $3.95.
No. The other one is $37. What do you expect with a a system like the 3DO? I would expect the prices to be going up. I mean, it's actually got like pretty high res like character photos on. It's really dark, so there's like no color.
Jason WV says the fan bought it and is mailing it to you as a Christmas present. A little poo in your stocking.
That would be amazing, actually.
It would be. I mean, we could probably find excuses to show this game.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Oh, we got the ending. There's no Shadow Lord.
Well, he's dead.
No, as you triumphantly walk towards the storm building to claim your prize, you are greeted by a horrible sight. Everything is in ruins. Suddenly, a metallic figure rises out of the debris and looks at you with an evil, deathly smile. It is the reborn Shadow King. He was not really killed by the last helicopter blast. His scientists were able to recover his brain and implant him into a cyborg's body. Thus, Kincaid Storm, the Shadow King, was reborn faster, stronger, and meaner than he ever was. Unfortunately for you, he wants his old job back.
Uh-oh.
It's like a Mortal Kombat RoboCop crossover.
Yeah. I thought the Shadow King would be like a demon or something. Oh, look at it. It's like... Here we go. He wants his old job back.
You gonna do a fight or you just gonna kill him?
I'm just gonna kill
him.
Well, I mean, I'll try out. See how impossible he is on advanced. Get him, Viper.
So the box has like high resolution photos of Sasha, Carlos, and the guy with the army pants.
Oh, look at here we go. The final death of the Shadow King elevates Viper to the highest position in Shadow. He then begins to destroy the organization from the top down. This accomplished Viper mysteriously disappears from the face of the earth. For now.
Do you think everyone's ending is exactly the same?
Yes.
Look at the weird.
Do we want to find out?
Like,
are you saying that because you want me to find out?
Nah, not necessarily. The Tribeca Digital Studios logo is a Triforce with one Triforce red, one blue, and one green. It's the RGB Triforce. If you look at the box art. Yeah, so there's a copy for $37 in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Gaming Blow says in Riggs ending, he teams up with Satan to ruin the world.
Really?
Maybe. Did you try looking up Anthony Philippakis on IMDb?
Who was he?
I don't know, the only guy actor. Anthony Philippakis.
I mean, all these, all those actor names are the same ones that came up on Moby Games, so I guess that really is all the actors.
Yeah. Joshua Helmicke is saying, I just bought the other copy.
Did you really? I'm going to refresh. Oh, he did. This listing has ended.
Well, the people that are listing those games, they've listed those. You're welcome. So that's them trying to take out the Shadow King right there.
We got $2 Canadian dollars from the NES master saying, "Get up, John."
Is that I'm not sure if it is. Oh, is that Plumbers Don't Wear Ties? Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, are we playing the entire library tonight? No. I feel like we've gone out on top.
Yeah.
We can't possibly.
We can't top Shadow War of Succession.
Yeah. So Dan, so if people want to get this mod installed, can they just buy it directly from you? Do you have people to do the installs that you recommend?
Yeah, the normal installers that I have on the pages. So they all can handle it.
Does everybody have them available at this point, or is it still kind of rolling out a little bit?
So I sold like the first 75 boards. Those are gone, and then I ordered another 200.
Oh wow!
Which I'll have December, and some people have already pre-ordered those. So once I get those, they'll all get shipped out.
That's cool. So I mean, that's sold pretty quick then. Sold out pretty quick. Anything else coming up for the rest of the year? Are you gonna take a break?
The GC loader will be out at this month.
Oh right.
In December.
And how many of those did you say you ordered? Like
500.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'll probably do batches of like 150 at a time, just so people have a chance, and you know what I mean. You know how people get upset when they miss out. So
yeah,
I'll do batches of like 150 like 4 times over the course of a week.
And you handle shipping all those, don't you? Is it like a pain in the butt to do all that?
Yes and no. I mean, I spend more time like programming and testing than anything.
Mm-hmm.
That takes the longest. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, everything seemed to work out pretty well with this. This is at first I thought I was having some issues like before the stream. I was having some like noise, and it turns out it was just my cable.
Was it your SCART to your whatever, like your OSSC or?
Yeah, just whatever. Yeah, just the whatever cable I was using.
Like a male cable, A to A or something, like a male cable.
Yeah.
Do you have another one, or how'd you end up wiring it?
Well, I have one of them going to, like, one of the outputs from the SCART going directly into the OSSC, and the other one was going to the Extron, and then going back. But it has the resistors in the SCART head for the coming out of the Extron, so it doesn't to take care of the sync. So I just swapped it back took the one that's coming out of the Extron and put it into the OSSC. And it just happened to be the cable. So now I know better not to use that cable for anything. That's good. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And hanging out.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
It's always a blast.
Thanks to everybody who hung out and watched me play this horrible game. And everyone who donated.
It feels like it's been the whole stream.
Yeah, no, I played a lot of good stuff this stream. But yeah, so hopefully there'll be another episode next weekend. We actually had to split the first party controllers episode into 2 because it was going to be over an hour long. So we're splitting them, but we are going to have them all written and recorded and and I'll have the second one already done because I need to have something just kind of lined up in case we need an episode while I'm moving. I guess is what it comes down to. So yeah, look for that next weekend, and we'll see you back here then as well. All right, we'll see you next week. Good night,
Bye, everybody.